You found the coolest place to be, the PlayStation Collecting Center. Come on, won't you stay with me? Welcome to the show. Gather round the boys and girls, collectors from around the world. They'll show the people what they need to know. Welcome to the show. Gonna talk to guests, only got the best. Gonna put their knowledge to the test. Gonna laugh and eat, gonna listen, dream. Gonna show you things you've never seen. Gonna sing a song to the break of dawn. Gonna rock this party all night long. So come on everybody, let me see you dance. Get yourself ready, you got one more chance. You found the coolest place to be, the PlayStation Collecting Center. Come on, won't you stay with me? Welcome to the show. Gather round the boys and girls, collectors from around the world. They'll show the people what they need to know. Welcome to the show. Welcome to the show. Welcome to the show. Welcome to the show.
Welcome.
Hey, what's up, everyone? Welcome back.
Figsy, might I say you have an incredible singing voice. I assume that's you singing the theme song?
No, that's me.
Joe, you have an incredible singing voice, sir.
Yeah, I don't know if people are good at singing, might not agree, but
He's very talented. It's awesome.
I'm good enough to know that I'm not that great. Let's put it that way. I know my limits. You know what I mean? I could kill at karaoke, but that's about as good as I get. You know?
No time like the present to change all that. That's for
That's
sure.
true. Yeah. That's
Hey,
true.
look, we got JRPG Wife and Lopez Drummer, RNG Gamer, Axiom. We got a lot of good people in here. This is good time.
Right on.
All
Well,
right.
guys, this is episode number 24 of season 3, and we welcome Mort from Mort's Garage to the show. What's up, Mort?
Howdy doody. Good, nice to meet you all. See you all. I got to meet Reggie for the first time in person last weekend.
Yeah, it was brief too, man. I felt bad, man. I was like, dang, dude, everybody's on the move and everything like that. Because you guys
Literally walked away thinking, what a jerk. That was the first thing that came out.
dude.
Not at all, man. Those were busy times.
Yeah, it was, dude. It really was.
Yeah, RPG like was saying the hangers in the background are better than the N64 wall.
Big update. Yeah, I sold my whole collection. So that's what this is. Everything. Oh, great. No, we got this thing going. I sold my whole collection, you guys. So sorry.
Wow.
Yeah.
We saw it for the first time last time when we did a review. Like the background was doing all that stuff. You're like, yeah. That's new to me. That's crazy.
We can test if we've got Mac users on the show or not by getting them to do thumbs up.
That works for me too.
I've had like work meetings where like we're talking about something kind of serious, and I'll be like, "So what do you guys think?" And then like, then that comes up. I'm like, "Well, that sucks. That's weird." So anyway, no, I'm visiting family right now, and so I'm in a closet, but this freaking thing, man, is killing me. So anyway, yeah,
Visiting Harry Potter, they've put you in the little closet downstairs.
yeah, but whatever. I
Honestly,
wouldn't miss this for anything.
We got the games up top, and we got the yellow down the bottom. I mean,
The contrast works. So.
Kind of does work.
Me and Reggie, we play.
It almost looks like we're in the same room in a way, like the way our TVs are.
Yeah, you're over there. Yeah.
Hey, how's it going? What's up? Going wrong way. There you are. How's it going?
I love
you
it.
take up the coat hangers and it'll be perfect.
Yeah. Well, actually, I sold my whole collection. This is a rare set of Miyamoto's old hangers from back when he was working at Nintendo. So, so they're worth more than my whole collection now because he had his jacket on it when he was developing Super Mario Brothers. So that's what it is now.
So on Marketplace, they said vintage.
Yeah, vintage hangers. I was like, take everything.
Vintage.
I need the hangers. Yeah.
Rare. I love that.
Antique. The N64 collection.
Yeah, that was it.
Dude,
forget the manual. I want hangers.
I like when people put like game systems and they like antique game system and they put a Nintendo up or something. I'm like, oh,
yeah,
they're really an antique? Is that really what we're calling them now? Shit, can we just call it retro?
It hits. Yeah.
I recall the word antique means an item's 100 years old. That's what it means in like the collecting scenes. I
Oh,
don't
okay,
think
good.
Nintendo did
So
that.
they're wrong. Thank God.
Yeah. Well,
I also see on the oldies they play music from like the 2000s. Like, oh my God. It's like Linkin Park is the oldies now. I'm like, oh my
you know,
God.
I'm seeing a bunch of memes show up on my feed on Instagram and on Facebook where it's like, if you were to do the Wonder Years today, it's like the show would be set in like 2000, like, you know, from like when it was live in like the late 80s, early 90s, whatever it was. It was like in the 60s. It's like, yeah, that today would be the late 90s or the early 2000s.
That's
So
wild.
it's you know, reality setting in. we're not the target demographic
I
anymore.
remember my first Limp Bizkit concert. It was the greatest moment of my life.
I just wanted to
I
break
remember my first Limp Bizkit CD, and oh my god, that was life changing.
You know, it's funny. He's directed movies now. He did that one movie with John Travolta. I forgot what it was called, Fanatic or something like that. Have you guys seen that?
I heard about that. It didn't do too well though, right?
It
like
didn't,
bombed
but
at the box office.
I thought it was great just for John Travolta, his acting in it. He played as like the crazy fanatic dude that was like, he was like, it's kind of weird to describe it, but I thought the movie was great. I thought, you know, he did a good job directing it. But yeah, that was his first director job for a movie and everything.
No, it was the
I
second.
liked it.
That was his second film. Yeah, he did one before that with Jesse Eisenberg from Social Network and Zombieland. And and I haven't seen either of his films, but I remember when that John Travolta one came out, people just were merciless towards John Travolta during the reviews. Just, this is awful. So yeah,
I thought he did great though, but that's sad. Sorry, because oh well.
Don't reviews. They're useless. They're all they need to know is in the movies out there. Just go see it. Like, who cares, man? I like terrible stuff. I don't know. I like terrible stuff.
Okay, I'll say this too, man. Even though I crapped on Speed 2, I kind of like it, man, because, you know, 17 knots in climbing, you know, that's funny. I mean, like, I don't know, man. Sometimes movies are good.
I used to I don't know how long ago this was now, 15 years ago, I used to be sent out to different screeners and things like that and get to do like press roundtables, and I was a film reviewer. And it was like a hobby thing. In LA, it was just like, yeah, drive up here. You go to this, you know, hotel. You'll do like an interview with so-and-so. Like the highlight was I got to meet and do a one-on-one interview with Rob Reiner. And that was like mind-blowing. Like, you made Stand By Me. You've made some of my favorite movies. And he was just like, and you've never interviewed people before, I can tell. I was like, I'm sorry. But it was like incredible. But movies are so subjective, how like one person can love something and another person can hate it. And it's all whatever. Just like with games, you know, so. Good times.
Mort, I have a question for you. Have you seen Speed 2 Cruise Control?
I have not. I've only seen the first Speed. You
should watch it. It's I can't give you any reason to, but you should watch it.
Hang on. Let me put that in my phone right now.
Yep. Get that ready.
It's the first movie I saw William Dafoe.
I'll watch it just for you.
Yeah, try to watch it. You don't have to finish it, but try to watch it and see how far you get.
Okay, sounds good. That's awesome.
Yeah, we were talking about there's a new never-ending story coming out. Do you guys know that they're
No, are they doing that?
They are, because Hollywood is hell bent on destroying everything about my childhood, one franchise at a time, and so no stone shall go unturned, and so never-ending story is getting the treatment. I was talking about with a bunch of people, and I'm surprised how many people don't know about part 3. Have you guys ever seen Neverending Story 3? Not 2, which is already a trip. 2 is already like
2 is a trip. It is. I mean,
2 is out of control, but 3 is on another level of bad. It's got Jack Black in it.
No.
Yep. Whoa. So just if you haven't seen Neverending Story 3 and you want to, if you, like I said, I seek out bad movies. Like, I enjoy cheesy bad movies.
What's like one of your
really do?
What's one of your favorites, Joe? What's one of your favorite bad movies?
Oh goodness, I think my favorite bad movie of all time. It's hard to describe why, but it's called Spookies. I don't know if you've ever seen this movie, because me and my friends used to literally every Friday night. We would try to rent the worst movie we could find, like as a competition, and we would watch them, and like whoever had the worst movie won. And that movie was so bad. It was hysterically bad. It made no sense at all. And I found out like years later that what it was is it was like 2 different movies. Like they had shot this other movie.
No,
And they were just like they like turned it into another horror movie, and they filmed another movie around that movie, and so it made no sense. Like from a like storytelling, I can't describe it. It's awful. Like if you watch it, like you won't like it. No one likes this movie.
Okay.
But to me, I love it because it's just insane, and it just made me like it makes me laugh.
Between that and Speed 2, I'm gonna watch that one first because anything that's terrible has a quality to it that Joe and I were talking about this a minute about games. That's something that's just awful has a different entertainment value to it, whereas something that's just kind of like just not very good is like it's more of a waste of time. But like, have you seen any of Ed Wood's movies, like Plan 9 from Outer Space or any of that stuff? Like, I just right in my heart, I love that stuff.
Yeah. Those old cheesy B sci-fi movies are amazing.
Yeah.
Planet 9 of Terror? I can't remember. I can't remember the name of them.
Yeah, Planet Terror, Bulletproof, or Bullet. What was it called? Planet Terror. Another movie after it was Kurt Russell when he was a stunt driver, a crazy stunt driver, chasing after people or giving them rides. And
You're talking about
Death Proof.
Death Proof. Yeah, you're talking about the
those are perfect.
Robert Rodriguez and
Grindhouse movies.
Yeah. So anyway,
wasn't there a Tarantino Death Proof, or is that another movie?
Yeah,
he's Planet Terror. Well, no, maybe he is Death Proof. I can't remember. Robert Rodriguez is Planet Terror. Okay, there we go.
I think isn't it Robert Rodriguez directed Death Proof, but Tarantino produced it, but there's some kind of connection there. Yeah,
I like Death Proof. I thought it was good.
When it gets to the action, yeah.
Nice.
Yeah,
I enjoyed it. I mean, it was slow, but I watched the whole thing.
So that's how you know.
That's good, man. A lot of people don't say that about Death Proof.
Well, that's how you know Tarantino was involved, because it starts out with a 45-minute conversation about absolutely nothing. That's sort of his thing. It's like, all right, the first 30 minutes we're gonna eat burgers and just talk about like what our favorite Mighty Mouse episode is, and then the movie will start.
Yeah, that's important for the character. There you go.
Yeah.
What I like about these movies is you can watch them back and you'll pick up on things that make sense. And,
right.
I really enjoy that. Where I struggle to rewatch a lot of movies. It's like, I know what's going to happen here.
Yeah.
It's like playing games again. It's hard to replay things that you've played through once before. I really struggle to play, like, say a game comes out with DLC. I struggle to play the DLC if you've got to like replay through the game again.
Mm-hmm. Truth. Well, that's good.
Yeah.
So,
sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, in terms of, well, now the train just left my station in my head too. What were you gonna say, Joe?
Well, no, I was just saying we should probably start talking about more about games.
I wanted to ask, like, what actually got you into doing YouTube? Like, what made you start out doing this?
So I've been around for a while. I was I used to pop up in Retro Liberty and Pixel Game Squad videos. There's a bunch of like pickup videos that we would do. I did some hunting videos with Retro Liberty, and I was just sort of fascinated by all of this stuff. And then kind of had this sort of crazy thing happen, which I was basically awake in my dream for 2 months because my kids were cast in the film Asteroid City. And so we lived in Spain for 2 months and we're a part of that. And at the time, like creatively, I've just always needed something to do. And I'd stopped doing Pixel Game Squad stuff because there was just a lot of like things that creatively I wanted to try. But at that time, Aaron was starting to get much more particular about the way he wanted to do his videos. And so I was like, I want to try my own thing. And so we came home and then I just started learning editing and started putting all this stuff together. And, after watching, basically these masters at their craft work for 2 months, I mean, like just the kinds of things that you would see and how they're doing things, I was like, I have to make content. I have to do this. So I taught myself Final Cut Pro. I'd get some pointers and tips from people like Riff along the way. And then, I just consumed as much tutorials on YouTube as I could. And then started putting out stuff, and it just kind of kept on growing in a way that was really exciting. But I did have the benefit of having some previously existing relationships, and some folks knowing who I was because of Pixel Game Squad, and particularly because of my N64 collection. People, and then the thing that kind of made my channel move a little more in the forefront was Retro Rick did a game room tour in my channel on his channel. A game room tour of my game room on his channel. And that video at that time was like, I mean, it got like 300 or 400,000 views or 200,000 views. I don't know, but enough views to be very visible. And so that helped as well. And then I just kind of thought, like, what's the other angle that I can take making YouTube content? And so one of the things that I suffer from that I've talked a lot about too is I have tinnitus. I've been in bands for years and I hardly ever wore earplugs. And so I have a constant terrible ringing in my ears that if I'm tired or over caffeinated or stressed, it's just me all the time in my ears. And so I was like, well, I can't do live music anymore. And also in my mid 40s, it's probably not smart to be playing at bars at like midnight on a Tuesday. And so, or concert venues or whatever. And so kind of was like, YouTube's it. I'm in. And I'm like, I'm all the way in to the point where I'm like moving my career fully over to this, where I'm doing creative direction and advertising and consultation with brands, and companies are saying, hey, we want to start doing YouTube. How do we do this? Here, we'll just hire you, help us do it. And so now I'm starting to do all that as well. So I'm obsessed with art, creativity, all that kind of stuff. I won't shut up about it. You have to cut me off because I will just keep talking. That's how I am.
No, that's fine. Perfect, man. Awesome, man. So what system is particular? What's your favorite gaming system out there right now?
Yeah, well, for me, there's ways to answer that question. Nostalgia-wise, the N64 is the system that made me go from being a guy who enjoys the popular games to enjoying all of the games. And so I remember I bought the game Snowboard Kids on the Nintendo 64. And at high school, there's a game shop, a couple miles away. The game had just come out. I went and I bought the game. And then we had drama rehearsal that night. So I came back and I sat in the parking lot for 30 minutes waiting for rehearsal to start. And I was reading the manual. My friend walked up to me and he goes, "You are the only person in the world I know that would read a Nintendo 64 manual at school." I'm like, guilty, that's me. So, but I would keep all
he
my
hasn't met the four of us.
Yeah, I found my people. Yeah, so
Yeah.
I found my people. But like, PS1, obviously the amazing console. I love the original PlayStation. All that it did, and just kind of getting into that world. But as we all know, at that time in the late 90s, early aughts, it was sort of like, you play games? Like, what's wrong with you? It wasn't like a thing that you could talk very much about. And so at this stage of my life, finding all of these folks who love games has been just like a super delight, unexpected pleasure. So, but I also love the Dreamcast. That's probably my other favorite console. I enjoy the NES, but I don't find myself going back to it a lot. Super Nintendo, same. But even handheld consoles like Game Boy, I just sold off a bunch of my Game Boy stuff because I was like, I don't really sit down and play these games. But my currently favorite, from Switch, PS4, PS3, I think the PS3 console is probably one of my favorites just as a console. I think they did so much right with it. And then I just think PlayStation is killing it. And for me, as I have these incredible single player campaigned story driven games like God of War, Uncharted, Horizon, you name it. We can all name them for hours because they just seem like they're doing this fine line dance between making incredible experiences for gamers that still feel like they're tied back into the old school roots of what we love about games, but are kind of, adapting a little bit to the new world of how gaming works now, where it's such a different transactional process. But I just think there are experiences you can have on the PS5 that are just some of the best, most incredible AAA experiences that really are mind blowing. So,
right on, man.
Yeah.
I don't know. For me, for the PS5 too, I think it's been really strong for RPGs. I don't know why, but I feel like it's a renaissance for JRPGs, and it's all of these franchises from the PS1 area are getting love again. You know what I mean? There's Tales games coming out. There's Tactics Ogres came out, new Valkyrie game, Final Fantasy games, all that stuff. I don't know. It's just
Unicorn
I'm loving
Overlord.
that. Yeah, to so many. So
yeah.
I've just been really into that on the system, especially.
Yeah.
I'm a little disappointed with PSVR 2. I don't know if anybody is into the VR.
Well, the sad thing about that, I think they're going to stop making them. From what I'm hearing.
Like it.
Well, they said they're not going to make any new ones until they sell off the old stock they have. They didn't announce
smart decision, but
they're basically they're at the point where they're like, it hasn't sold well, guys, and if you want it to continue, you got to buy the shit that we're not making new games for.
It's just not worth buying that thing. Man. First, it's tethered to the system. I'd rather get a wireless VR than anything. That's just more. I mean, they should all be wireless at this point, I think. But it's just not anything we want to buy because it's not even backwards compatible with the original one. That's an important thing to be backwards compatible. So you have more of a library of games. And plus, you gave developers maybe give them the ability to patch the older games so they work better on the VR too. But they cut out all that stuff. So it's like, dude, like, why do I have the VR 1? Like, they're not going to support this. And I got to get the VR 2, plus it's tethered to the system. Paying like, how much it costs? Like $500? That's the same as the PS5. So it's just not worth it, man. I mean, I understand Sony has exclusives and stuff like that, but the exclusives are not going to save that thing, So.
Yeah. I wonder if it's like a future Virtual Boy, except that I really do think from a collectible standpoint, once they shut down that store or whatever the servers are that are using it, I mean, it's just going to be pieces of plastic, I would assume, because of the way that those systems run, unless people are modifying them in some kind of a way to get. But I don't understand how it works. Like you guys tell me for PSVR 2, if I buy a game, is Sony hosting it on the cloud or is it actually on my device?
I believe it's on your device.
Okay.
Because they have physical games for it. But there are probably some games on the cloud too. But I think for the majority, it's on the device. So.
It's not a cloud-based system. It's I don't know how much content's on the disc physically or anything like that compared to other regular games, but it'll be similar to every other game in the generation. They announced they were going to add PC support finally, though, and I think that's like a huge positive move. And they should have done that at the beginning because if they're trying to get a big install base, like why did they make it so you have to have you need like a $600 or $500-$600 PS5 and you need that? I'm like, that's just a lot of money for your average person. Like you've made that like a rich person's toy at that point. $1,000. That's
it's insane.
If I was a little kid, I'd be like, Daddy, give me this thing. He'd be like, screw you, son. Like that's exactly how that conversation would have gone.
Well, Joe, they had the fan base for it too. I mean, the fan base, like the backwards compatibility was so important and they messed that up. I mean, they already had that fan base there. They had added like, no, you gotta get a new one. It's just I don't know, man.
I got a full PSVR 1 set. I have the whole set, and I was like, "Yay! I'm ready for the PSVR 2." And then, so
that sucks.
I hope Nintendo
the PSVR 2. We haven't seen any AAA games come out for it.
No, nothing that stands out.
Like, haven't done anything that's selling consoles. And that's
it's crazy. I was playing the Horizon game, it's exclusive to it. And I was like, man, this game is too much work, man. Like climbing around, it didn't feel right to me. It was beautiful, but I don't know, man. When it comes to VR, I'm trying to relax a little bit. I'm not trying to like do any climbing or crazy stuff like that. But maybe that was just me. But the game looked great, but there's nothing out there that makes you, hey, I got to go get a PSVR 2. There's nothing out there like that. So I don't know who's buying that thing, but it's just
Reggie, your mic is clipping.
Yeah, you might unplug and plug it back in. Your mic.
Sorry, hold on.
It's all good.
Sorry about that. Let me fix that.
We got some really fun comments here. Insane D Gamer, good to see you as well. Got to see him at Phoenix at Game On. And then
gotta put a face to
Lopez got a shout out from Mario for Asteroid City. Woo!
Are we good?
Start talking.
How'd I sound now, guys? Is coming in clear?
It's best
It's still cracked.
I can't believe it. I'll sign back in. Sorry about this, guy. I don't know what's going on. I gotta get back on my computer.
It's all right.
Another thing I wanted to mention with the VR is today there's so much competition for VR. Like it's not just VR you're competing with all the VR systems on PC. You're competing with like the Apple Vision Pro. There's so many different things out there that do a lot. So why would you buy the PSVR 2 when you're just limiting yourself?
I couldn't agree with you more. It seems like it's already kind of a niche thing to begin with, and then when you try to make it this digital only thing, I don't know. Like who is buying it? I don't know. And just in VR in general, I don't know anyone personally outside of like hardcore collectors that's playing VR, like my friends with kids or like my adult peers. Like I don't know anyone who like bought the, you know, the Meta or any of the other VR or whatever they are, you know, systems. Do you guys know a lot of people who are buying VR just whether it's
I've got a
PS?
friend or two who were into like a couple of online VR communities, and they buy the new ones to it, but they do it all on PC. They don't do it on PlayStation.
Okay.
Yeah, nowadays literally it's like a Beat Saber machine for me. That's like all I use it for. And occasionally I'll try a few horror games on it. I do love it for that.
Yeah.
That's where it shines. VR horror is amazing if you like to get the shit scared out of you. Yeah, it's really good.
Nice.
And then, but again, PSVR 2 is not the platform really, because I regret getting it completely, because now that I'm like super into Beat Saber, I want it on PC because you can mod your game and play thousands of songs. And in the PSVR 2, you can do anything. It's completely locked down. You can't do anything. It's like, it's just ridiculous.
Yeah, JRPG Life is saying they have an Oculus 2 and they haven't played it in over a year, except for it looks like Beat Saber.
Mm-hmm. We just played Beat Saber. Yeah, it's a Beat Saber machine. That's pretty much it.
Beat Saber's cool, but it's not a $500 game.
Right.
you know.
So the reason I play Beat Saber is for exercise too, more than like gaming. Like that's actually why I'm doing it. Like it's good exercise and it's fun. So that's a win for me, because I don't want to do jumping jacks in a room by myself. That shit sucks, man. It's boring. But if it's a game, it's fun. Like it tricks me into exerizing. So that's why I like it.
So you got Wii Fit HD. That's what it is, right?
Yeah.
Beat Saber's Wii Fit HD. There you go. Love it.
So,
it's enjoyable to watch too. I've watched Joe streams it on Twitch, and I get in there and watch it all the time. It's good fun.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I'm getting pretty good at it. I'm getting decent, but then I watch other people who are really good at it, and I'm not good at it. Like these people are insane, dude. Have you seen how good people are at Beat Saber? Holy freaking! Like I literally laugh sometimes. I'm like, I would just take me like, but then I put it in perspective. Like they have 2,000 to 3,000 hours in the game. You know, and I'm like, I play like 150 hours, and I'm so it's just not the same. It's not. If you put 3,000 hours into something, you better be really good at it. You better be amazing. Yeah. If you're not, you should stop.
No doubt.
Oh my gosh. I don't want to alarm you guys, but there's someone here saying that they can help us. Their price is lower than any competitor. Are you seeing this like I'm seeing this? This is an amazing opportunity. We should stop everything we're doing and click on that. That's what should happen.
Every Twitch stream ever.
What's up, Retro Cart? Yes. Oh, there's a lot of beautiful people in this conversation right now.
Retro Cart, okay.
They're all here to see you, Mort. They all love you.
He's great.
That's what it is.
I wanted to ask you about your collection, in particular your N64 collection.
Go
the
on.
plan is
the one you used to have.
The one I used to have. Yeah.
Yeah, the one you used to have.
Yeah. What did you want to ask? I couldn't hear.
So I wanted to ask what the plan was for the N64 collection. Is the plan a full complete in box set?
Yeah, so my channel is documenting a series. It's called Finish the Hunt, and right now each episode in that series is a combination of like Retro Rick's $10 game collection challenge, and also I don't know, like a college professor exploring all of this with you. So essentially each video in the series goes through like a regular game hunting video where I'm flipping my way to get the last piece that I need for a complete in box North American N64 set, which is the Clay Fighter Sculptor's Cut Manual. But then kind of diving off into the side with these integrated things that are about everything from entertaining things. Like I'm editing a video right now that's about which games were exclusive to Blockbuster for the N64, and talking about those ones and all that. And then the one from a few weeks ago was one where my mom was in this debilitating car accident where another person in the accident actually was killed. And central to that experience of finding out about this traumatic thing for my family was the game Banjo-Kazooie, because one of my siblings was playing it when we heard the news. And so kind of tying it into like, what are we actually buying? Like, why would you spend $300 on a video game. It's not the game. There's another reason why you're buying. Why would I spend, or you spend, potentially thousands of dollars or trade for a thousands of dollars item? It's not because you want the experience that the game provides. It's because of some meaning behind it. And I want to explore what all of that is. So for my collection, that's the last thing to get for the N64 set. And then I'm kind of just going into the other things. Like I've got a couple of other fun trades set up for other stuff I don't have in the N64 set that are like variant consoles and other things that are to come, down the road as well. But that's part of the fun of it is the focus on that. But I really honestly just enjoy, outside of the N64, collecting. There's just a lot of fun modern stuff. Like I don't know about you, Reggie, but at Game On, there's just a bunch of new stuff that I was like, that looks cool. I've never heard of that before. Yeah. What is this? So yeah.
Yeah, I pretty much went to Game On not wanting anything, but I found a bunch of stuff like yourself that was amazing to see. So yeah, I feel the same way.
Yeah. So JRPG Life says, I'm going to finish the N64 set so I can sell it and buy a collection for a better console.
That's actually smart.
Yeah. I can admit
that Dreamcast collection you wanted.
Yeah, I can admit that the N64 is not the world's greatest console, but
it looks great on a shelf.
to quote a famous wrestling meme, it is to me, damn it. So there you go. It's real to me, damn it.
And if you get sick of looking at it, you can just turn it green and it's like a new collection.
Quick question, guys. Can you guys still hear me okay?
Yeah, it's a little crunchy, but it's not as bad as it was before.
Yeah, I keep thinking about that. That's why I'm so quiet. Like I gotta fix this.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, I wanted to ask about the manual. So it's such an interesting piece because it's like you've basically got a full set already, but it's like in your head, that's still one piece away from a full set. Have you ever thought to yourself, I don't need this, I've got a full set, I'm not going to get it? Or is it like now that you're committed to the journey, you're 100% focused on getting the manual?
Yeah, so I initially was resolved at that. I was like, this is fine. Like I can't justify this. But then the more I thought about it, I was like, I'm not the only collector, whether it's for video games or for comics or for anything, that collects things that are just a little bit bizarre, like a manual, And so I was just kind of like, I want to dig into that by like kind of doing a little bit of journey inward, because I think that that's a journey that all of us have to deal with as collectors. We hear terms like hoarder or addicted, things like that. And I think those are interesting terms and things around seeing, Figsy's game room, Joe's game room, my empty closet of games, seeing all of
you got that monkey off your back.
It's gone, baby. Yeah. But no, so I think like, but now that I'm in on it, I'm fully in on it, and it's actually in. I knew this would or I was hoping this would happen. I don't want to speak too soon, but I was like, if I can tie these game hunting videos into one storyline, then I think it'll be much more compelling to watch. And so far, that's the response has been that YouTube seems to be pushing it out more. The viewership on it has been some of the strongest of anything that I've made. And so I'm absurdly grateful to have seen that come back, because I think that there is something maybe emotionally a little bit more interesting about all of this than just like, well, I built a game collection, it's like, yeah, but like, why, so.
One of the things I really like about your videos too is, like you said, when the professor part of it too, like you do have a lot of knowledge that you do, and you do research and you go into like more than, I got a game. And so that's, I do my pickups real quick, and it's fun to do a live podcast, but it's nice when to actually go into the detail and the years released, and you talk about like who made it, and a little fun factoids and stuff like that. Like I love information. Like I'm big on like knowledge and stuff like that. If you're into collecting, I think you just have to be like voracious for information. That's part of the fun. So that's one of the things I liked about your channel a lot, man.
Thank you, Joe. Yeah.
Then, just elaborating on what Joe said, I enjoyed the same thing, but I wanted to add that you put the information out there quickly. You don't, like some people beat around the bush and could spend 10 minutes to talk about what you just said in 20 seconds, and you get the exact same amount of information out there, and then back to the video.
Yeah.
Great.
No, I kind of intentionally thought, if this is going to work, I have to make this feel like two different things that are the same thing, not just because otherwise it'll kill the pacing. And so I was like, can I make these two segments feel different but similar enough to work? But it's obvious references, at least in my mind, to some of my favorite filmmakers and all that kind of stuff, and just kind of going like, can I edit a story together that's coherent and holds interest around all of this stuff? And I think like as editors, for all of us making content, ultimately we're trying to ask the question of, is this a story worth telling? And if so, how do you make it worth listening to or watching? So there you go.
Well done, man. I think, that's so key these days, because there's so many YouTube channels out there, and everyone who's got a game collection thinks, oh, I'll just make a YouTube channel next. That's the next logical step. And there's so much competition out there. So separate yourself from the crowd is so important.
Yeah, which is cool. I love seeing what everyone's making and what everyone's doing. Like I like seeing how everyone else approaches this, because ultimately at the bottom of all of it is we're talking about video games, and they're fun. Like video games are, at the end of the day, it's a pastime, but it's also like it's an entertainment experience you can't get in any other kind of a medium, and it's fun to talk about it and how the games impact us and everything. So I think that's like kind of rad. Yeah, RNG Gamer, like I love. Like he has like a really gameplay focused channel. If you guys haven't watched his channel, same with Retro Cart Collector, where they're like really just focused on talking about the games, but they're doing it in a way that feels refreshing and fun to watch. Gosh, his like worst games series, or the games I hated, or the hardest games series, that's what it is for RNG Gamer. Oh, let's turn that off. For RNG Gamer, he has, those videos are popping off. I mean, like, what's RNG? What'd you get, like 200,000 on one of those videos or something crazy? Anyway,
that's awesome.
That's pretty good.
So
that's our podcast. We haven't done that.
Yeah.
We need a controversy. We need a wardrobe malfunction or something. I don't know. I tried to plan it.
Yeah, see, RNG, he got 250,000 views on one just talking about games, and I feel like people have talked about games so much that like, how do you stand out? But he seemed to have cracked the code, and his videos are great. Anyway,
well done, RNG.
Guys, how do I sound now?
Perfect.
You sound good, Reggie.
You fixed it.
Oh my god, you sound like a 12-year-old Japanese girl. What the hell's going on?
Yeah, my phone's tripping, so I just switched over.
It's Radical
Cool,
Regina.
perfect.
Wonderful. Yeah.
You kawaii.
That's great, man.
Good, man. You sound good. I also noticed that you seem to be slightly addicted to buying manuals, and I respect that, because I've recently become addicted to buying gaming magazines. New thing. I don't know why, my friend, but recently I've just been like, I didn't realize how much I like buying these magazines, but I've been going crazy, dude. It's so fun to collect.
I have a theory about this, because I'm the same way. I just started buying all the Nintendo powers from the N64 era. What do you think it is? Because I'm seeing this from other collectors too. People are buying strategy guides and manuals from like the 90s and early 2000s. What do you think?
Yeah, because that stuff is. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
No, go ahead, man. Go ahead.
Well, one reason is because that stuff is so nostalgic. They don't make stuff like that anymore. Like, I'll give you an example. Like, my favorite magazine was Game Fan magazine, and Game Fan was really cool because they did reviews. They did mini reviews, they did regular reviews, and they did import reviews. There's not a magazine like that out there. So going back and looking at some of that stuff, and the ads that were in there are hilarious. Like, do you guys ever remember the Sega Saturn ad with Ice Cube? Like, so Ice Cube is like holding the Saturn, and it's such a weird ad, but he's like the planet or whatever like that. Stuff like that, which we don't see anymore. Like these cool ads and stuff. It's just nostalgic to look back at that stuff. And and when it comes to like strategy guides, so a lot of strategy guides were well done back in the day, and they had a lot of detail in them. Like, I'll give you an example: Star Ocean: The Second Story. One of the reasons why I got so many endings back in the day, because I read that strategy guide, how to get them, and it was really in depth and everything like that. So it's a lost art, I would say, and it just strategy guides, I think, and game magazine, they kind of remind me of the nostalgia from back in the day. Like, I remember the excitement going to a game store or just a regular thrift store and seeing the magazines there and all that stuff. It was just really like very pleasant, and everything. So yeah, that's all. Just nostalgia mainly.
Yeah.
I think it's just the next step into collecting too. Like, more, I'll use you for an example. Like, you love the N64, and when you complete the set, you're still into it. You want to collect more for it. Suddenly, you've got the guides out there have all the front covers of all the games that you own. So it makes sense to then get this, because then you don't just have the game. You've got the magazine that came out the same week the game came out.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think like that's a part of it is we enjoy stuff around our same interests in the eras, like the PS1 era magazines, like the Electronic Gaming Monthlies and the Game Pros that were out in that time. But I also think that it's like it's a corner of collecting that is and it has an affordability that's within reach still. And I think that that's part of it is like you can get a magazine for $3 and it's almost like the old days of game collecting of like here's a stack of PS1 games that were $2 or $3 each and no one cared, and that was just like whatever. Like they're with the seat, they're mixed in with the CDs, have fun. And now it's like they're behind the Goodwill glass case for 10% above their retail price. And there's something about I think the impulse within us to purchase collectible things that when we find something that's still really exciting and nostalgic but cheap, it's like, well, let's all go to that. But I can already see the hive mind going towards it and
actually, it sucks, guys. I regret it, and nobody should buy them. And everyone should just sell. If you have them, just throw them up on eBay cheap. It's a stupid idea.
I've been throwing them out. Even Garbage Man won't take them.
It might.
No, don't throw them out. Just put them on eBay cheap. I mean, you might as well make a couple bucks.
Joe, why don't we just send them to your address? Let's not let
actually. I have a PO box.
Yeah,
if you guys. As a favor, if you guys would like.
Look at us. They're so disposable. So quick, how do you guys feel about collecting demo discs?
That's an interesting one because I got into demos for a while. Like I had those folders that were full of like 100, 150. I had a lot of the cases as well. But I decided that I'm an all or nothing type person. And then I either wanted to go for the full set of these. So I don't know what you guys got in North America, but for the PS2, our PS2 demos actually came in the cases. And they were like full demos with crazy spines and, 10 games on a full PS2 case. There's like 40 of them you can collect. And I'm like, I'm either going to get a full set or I'm not going to collect them at all because I don't want to have 3 or 4 of these in the collection. Yeah. So I ended up selling all my demos.
I started collecting them because, like back in the day, like, games were expensive for me back in school. So, getting those demo discs was amazing because you could put like a bunch of hours into different demos. But mainly why I started taking it seriously was because a lot of those demos have like games that weren't released in America on them, interviews from developers, codes and stuff like that. I feel like that stuff is like cool to have, you know what I mean? So that's one of the reasons I want to collect that stuff because it's like a lost art, I would say. They tried doing demos during the PS3 era, but obviously they couldn't do it, so they started doing that. It was something I forgot how they did it. It was digital, of course, because everybody could download demos now. But they kind of tried to do the same thing the PlayStation Magazine did. I forgot what it was called on PlayStation, but it didn't work. It didn't last long. But it's just another lost art. But mainly, I like it because there's a lot of games that weren't released. Like I'll give you another example too. You guys remember the movie Titan AE?
Yeah, Matt Damon.
Yeah.
Yeah, it had a game coming out for PS1. It was never released though, but that demo was out there, and you can play the game like that. Now, demos is early in development, but still, if they want to try that game to see how it was, they can. So stuff like that, I think, is really great for this. There's a lot out there, and it depends on what type you want to get. Like there's the magazine, there's the underground, and then there's the exclusive games themselves. There's many ways to collect it, but mainly for me, I'm just trying to do the magazine because that was like my favorite way to get demo disc because you have multiple games to play. But that's me. But Joe, what about you?
I have some, but I don't go out of my way to collect them or anything like that.
This is good to know, so I don't have that much competition.
Well, what's funny to me is when you were talking about them, I was in my mind, I was like, the only one I'd really like to have is Titan AE. I was thinking that because that is it's a great movie, and I knew it was an unreleased game, and it looks really looked like it would be a great game. It's very well animated. It was like high quality. That's not a Disney game though. It was not. Who made Titan AE? It was like some other
Fox Interactive.
Yeah. But I remember they had made what was it? They made it like Treasure Island or Treasure Planet or some shit like that. Was that them? I can't remember. They made another game too that was pretty good graphically. So I don't know. That one looked cool. But I remember like buying games because of the demo. I'm pretty sure most people bought like Brave Friends and Musashi because Final Fantasy VIII's demo
100%
that game. Like I'm pretty like we bought it for that reason, I'm pretty sure. Yeah. And I love that game though. That's so funny. It's like Brett ended up being one of my favorite games. Brave Friends and Musashi is incredible. So
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. I remember getting that demo for Christmas, and I mean, I didn't even play the game until like months later. And then when I finally played it, I said, "Dang, this game is great! Like, I can't believe I waited so
So
long to
good.
play it." It is, and yeah, a total hidden gem. Unfortunately, man, I really wish a lot more people knew about that game because it would have probably got a proper sequel if people had played that one.
There's that PS2 sequel to it, but it's quite a different feeling game.
Yeah, the music, the it's like it doesn't feel right. In order to make a good sequel, I feel you got to get the original people involved, at least some of the staff involved. I think it was a totally different new staff that made that game, and it had potential.
I've talked about this before. It's like if you have like a favorite band, right? And everybody breaks up, everyone leaves except the drummer, but he keeps the name of the band and starts a new band and releases an album, and you're like, the fuck is this? And it's good, and you're like, oh, this is cool, but this isn't a band. This isn't what the hell's this? Like, I can't.
Right.
Sublime
several times.
Didn't Sublime just do that with Rome? Sublime with Rome, and then like all the band members left. No, this is true. So all the band members leave. It's people who were not in Sublime. Okay, so let me back up. So it's Sublime. Their singer dies.
Mm-hmm.
The rest of the band stays together. They get Rome to sing the songs. They go out and they tour as Sublime. Then the band all leaves. Rome stacks the band with a bunch of people who are not in Sublime. He calls it Sublime with Rome. They go on tour playing Sublime songs. The original lineup of Sublime just got back together, minus the singer who, of course, has passed away. And now they're doing a Sublime's final tour. So there are two bands calling themselves Sublime going out on tour right now, trying to do whatever.
Playing the same sets.
Yeah, man, that's crazy. Yeah, when Bradley passed, man, it was like, dude, like Sublime has so much potential, man. I mean, they really did. But losing their head guy, man, just was really like, I hate to say it, I feel like it's the end of the band in a way. You know what I mean?
His lyrics were the band.
Yes.
His lyrics were insane, dude. So
I you know what comes to mind? That funny video they did after he passed away, Santeria, where they added like the Western one. Did you guys see that video they did on that song where it's like the Western town and Debo's in it and the dog and all that stuff? Any of you guys seen that?
I haven't. No.
Of course, dude. Thousands of times. Man. They used to do this thing called MTV that used to play music.
Yeah, MTV back in that
videos all the time. It was amazing.
I appreciated Sublime, but I was more into other kinds of music. Someone's commenting right now. Yeah, this is actually Sushi Cat. This is Sunny Day Real Estate. I went to their shows that they just did a year ago, but that's like my era of music was like all the like the late 90s emo indie stuff like Sunny Day Real Estate and Texas is the Reason and all those kinds of bands. That's totally my era of stuff. So
you said you were in bands too, right? What kind of music did you make?
Yeah, well, I was in a couple. So in college, I was in a band. I drummed for a hardcore band, and we were like we played with bands like Zayo and
I love Zayo, dude.
Yeah, we played with them out here in California. God, that era of Zayo, late 90s, like early 2000s, was just peak.
That was awesome.
They never
Poison the Well. What I was listening to Zayo, Poison the Well.
Yeah.
Gosh, who else was I listening to back then? All that hardcore band. God, I can't remember. I'm on the spot.
Yeah. So there's this era in Southern California where you go from all these bands that would come down from Seattle and play like, and there's Tooth and Nail Records, and so it's Unashamed, Focused, Roadside Monument, all these bands that are all Seattle-based bands. They all would come down and we would all go see them, Pedro the Lion, all that kind of stuff. And then, but my band would play with a lot of those bands, and that was just kind of our scene. And then I kind of dropped off of all of that and got really into like instrumental, like prog stuff. And so the band I was playing in at that time, this is probably 98, 99, maybe a little into 2000. We had the privilege of playing at this little venue called Coos, which was a bit like a CBGB's or Gilman Street, kind of a venue in Southern California. And at this time, bands would just be in a van and coming down, and you'd see Jimmy Eat World. In fact, their first video is filmed at Coos Cafe for the song Rockstar. And it's literally like the size of a living room, and just people would pack in. I saw Converge and Botch and all of these other bands.
Converge. I'm from New England, so Converge, Shadows Fall, all those guys, All That Remains, Darkest Hour, all that. I saw them. I used to hang out and go to millions of shows up there at the Palladium. And
imagine 150 people packed into a living room seeing The Locust, Converge, and Botch. It was just the wildest, craziest stuff. But we at that time though, none of these bands were anything but like we opened for Bright Eyes and became friends with bands like Mates Estate and all this other stuff. And then I just kind of kept with it. And then I got married. And then the band that I was in most recently after that, we would play venues like House of Blues and just local stuff around here. We were a lot like the Black Keys, the White Stripes, that kind of stuff. I sang and played guitar in that band and had a blast with that. So, but I did that up until my triplet daughters were born, and was like, well, we're done with music.
Well, my free time just changed. So your triplets, that's quite. Yeah,
I do, yeah.
Yeah, very cool, man.
Yeah, good old life. Yeah,
sounds like I had a lot of fun doing that. That's awesome.
Sushi Cat's got some good taste in music. That's all I gotta say. Oh, and Axiom, nice.
So I was in like metal bands. I was into like a lot of At the Gates and like that type of thrash type stuff. That was my cup of tea. Black metal and stuff like that. Like as cheesy as it is, hate to admit it, but I loved all that stuff back in the day.
Oh, I love it.
So, like, I've tried to explain to people, if you know the difference between what this means and what this means, then you know. Then you know. If you don't know what this is what I like. When I listen to music, that you don't headbang. It just makes you go like this.
Yeah, the guttural. Yeah.
Oh, so evil.
Sorry, not to derail the conversation too far, but Joe, do you know who the Chariot are?
Sounds super familiar, I'm sure.
Their singer started a band called 68. It's two guys. Everyone should listen to them. The night before Game On Expo, I drove out a day early to go see them play at this venue in Phoenix. And it is the best. I'm putting it in my video for the Game On Expo. It is the best show I think I might have ever seen. They do more. He does more with one guitar, and all that they're doing. Like there's a YouTube channel called Hate56, and their 68 video is great. It's all live bands that are playing hardcore and metal stuff right now, and it's just they're so good. Not to derail us too far, but everyone should go listen to 68. That's all I have to say.
Right on.
Okay. Sweet. All right.
Quick question, Mort. So, what are you currently playing right now? If you have time to play games, because I know it sounds like you're pretty busy and everything too.
Yeah. So I am playing Pokemon Puzzle League way more than I should. So I'll sit down and I'll start playing that game, and I'm like, I'll play for like 20 minutes, and it's like 10 p.m. And then 1 a.m. rolls around, and I'm like, well, that was not a wise adult choice that I just made. So I'm playing that a bunch. I started playing Tales of Arise, based actually, Reggie, on your recommendations on your channel.
Really
right on. Good.
I've tried to get into the Tales series at different points, but they just lose me really fast. But Tales of Arise has like totally hooked me. I really am enjoying that game right now. And then I have it queued up, but haven't started playing Resident Evil 4 Remake on PS5 as well. That's next in the queue. But then beyond that, I can legally emulate because I have every N64 game. So I just like going through the emulator and being like, tonight I'm going to play some Army Men on the N64 because it's a terrible game and I love it. So,
no, it isn't.
Thank you, Joe.
I never owned an N64. It's just, I'm trying to decide how long I want to make this story. I used to work at a swimming pool company, and we were open year round. And that means like I would be open in the winter time in New England. So nobody would come in the store. There'd be nobody coming in for months. And my boss had an N64. And that's where like all of my N64 memories came from, is I got to play at work. And I used to play like Ocarina of Time, and we played all GoldenEye, tried to beat the whole game on like the hardest setting. Like we were nuts. But he had all of the Army Men games on N64, and I freaking loved them. I had so much fun playing those games in that pool store, just sitting there they're simple. They're like, they're nothing great, but they were good fun back in the day. I thoroughly enjoyed those games.
Joe gets it. My dad, I have memories of him sitting with that N64 controller while you're awkwardly trying to move your little army man on a ledge so he doesn't get eaten by the spider below you. There's that stupid thing. I hate that. But anyway, and I just am like, my dad loved Army Men, but I still can go back and play it. It's such a great concept. It really should come back in some kind of a form. I think on a new gen system, it could be really, really exciting to experience what they could do with that kind of a concept and idea. Sort of weird once you get into like the Xbox and GameCube era with all that, but the N64 era, chef's kiss.
Yeah, not just video games. Do kids still use those toy Army Men?
That's
I remember them being everywhere when I was a kid. I haven't seen them in years.
Yeah, I don't know.
Now they're bad.
I don't
They're
think so.
violent. They're terrible. Now kids, they just get little like Nerf bats and they wear like arm swimmies and then that's all they get to do.
I'm sure they're choking hazards and they got banned at one point and something happened. I wanted to ask, how many N64 Army Men games were there? Because I know there was like 11 on the PS1 or something.
There's like I think there's 3 or 4. So there's Army Men, Sarge's Heroes, Army Men, Sarge's Heroes 2, which is like the third-person shooter games. Then there's Army Men Air Attack, which is like a helicopter game. And then I think that might be it. Comments let
I think
us know.
that's the only ones I remember. There's the 3.
Yeah, but when then like on PS2, I think they did Sarge's Heroes. They did a port of it on that, and then on Dreamcast they did as well. So those are probably, if you're dying to get your Army Men fixed, the ways to play those games. But certainly not of the JRPG intense gameplay variety. Very, very much not so.
I like to think of the Army Men games like the Lego games for the PS1.
That's a good way to think of it.
So many of them, and I was buying them, and I thought, oh yeah, I've almost got them all. And I looked them up, and I didn't even have half of them.
Yeah, I know on the PS1 there's 2 helicopter games. There's Army Men 3D. There's a bunch. So and then they got into like Portal Runner, like offshoots from within the universe of Army Men. Yeah, it's a good series.
Yeah, I think it would be cool to come back.
The GOAT for N64 to me still will always be Mario Party, though. That's literally why I bought it.
Really?
Wait, do I have? Wait. See, I bought like all of the Switch controllers, and I just to play Mario Party.
That's great.
Oh my god, dude! That's my other memories is playing Mario Party. Just the fiercest battles playing that game, just ruining people's lives, upsetting friendships. Just the greatest memories.
I never got into Mario Party until the Switch. I tried it on the N64 with some friends and was like, it's fine. But on the Switch, my kids and I love it. We like the first one, the one that did not get good reviews. We love that game. It's such a great family game. So they're
which one?
It's not All Stars. It's the one before
Super Mario Party. It's just called.
Yeah. I played that with my buddy, and I mean, we had fun, but we wanted to kill each other by the end of it.
It's good. Yeah.
So they like reinvent the game all the time. So if you go into a new one and you haven't played the other ones, you have a good chance of liking it. It's like, but if you're into like the older games, they're just so different.
What's considered the best Mario Party game? Like I'm sure there's like a top 10 list or something like that. Like what's considered the number 1 Mario Party game?
I like 3 personally. That's my favorite.
3 is
the
GameCube
ones.
Too.
The GameCube ones are very, very strong. So I could see people arguing, 5 is amazing. 5 has Ding Derby, and that alone is the reason why it's amazing. That's the one you hit the baseballs. That alone is like the best minigame ever, dude. It's so fun.
Dude, I love this comment from RNG. He literally broke up with the girl one time because of playing Mario Party. You got to explain that story.
Oh my god.
This is why Mario Party story. It's the greatest game ever. I'm telling you, it's like it is life altering. That's how important this game was.
That's a video for anyone making content that you need to make. Is the definitive ranking of Mario Party games. That's a video I would watch. I need to know that.
Yeah,
it says 507 for sure.
So that's
I might actually work on that because there's an obscure Mario Party a lot of people don't know about.
Which one?
What Game Boy? Or something
I'm sorry.
Like
the Game Boy Advance one.
Yeah.
It's a good game too, but nobody knows it really exists. So
I forgot about that actually. Mario Party Advance, is that just what it's called, right?
Yeah, that's it.
I don't think I've played it. So you have to have, is that one of the ones like everybody needs to have a cart and you have to all play together or something like that?
Say that again.
I don't know if you have to play off if you could play off of one cart. I think you wouldn't, but who knows, man? With the Game Boy Advance, sometimes it's really funny when it comes to multiplayer games. Some games you can play on one cart, other games you need all 4 carts if you're playing together.
So 3 is my favorite, and I'll explain why. So there's 2 reasons I like 3 the most. Number 1 is they have this item in the game called a reverse mushroom, and it's like only in that game. And what it does is it makes it so you or another opponent moves backwards. And I loved it because you know how like Boo the Ghost, you could steal coins or steal stars. Oh, I would just go buy Boo, steal all your coins, reverse, go back, steal your star, go buy him again, steal your other star. Like I would just ruin. It was just you could just be so evil with that game.
God.
It was
That's
so
nice.
good. And the other reason I loved it is there was a spot with it's called the exclamation point. It's the chance spot.
Okay.
And it literally just was chaos because what it does, it's like a bunch of spinners. You can't really choose. And it takes two random players and it will like just swap all their stars or all their coins or like 20 coins or 2 stars or 3 stars. It was just chaos. And so you'd be playing a game for like 2 hours and you thought you had this in the bag. It'd be like the second to last turn. Somebody would land on that damn square and everyone in the room would be like, no, don't, what are you doing now? Because it would be like the person in last place is getting everybody's stars.
I
They
love
win.
that.
They won the game just because of that one spot, that one thing. It was just like, it literally, oh man, the rage. Just the people, like I said, nothing would even have to happen. Someone would just land on that space, and everyone would lose their minds, and people would be like storming out of the house, be like, "Screw this game! I'm not playing this."
My wife and I have developed something of an intervention that can help, which is we can have very competitive games of Settlers of Catan. And so what we do is we literally, when we have a group over, it's just her and I, we put our hands out in the middle. And we all, do this. And then we repeat the chant. We love each other. It's not personal. It's just a game. And then that seems to do everything it needs to do. I probably need to bring that into Mario Party with my kids. That might be a helpful thing. Yeah.
Yeah, that definitely sounds like it is.
Reggie,
Yeah,
is Mario Party Advance your Mario Party of choice?
No, it's just the only one I own. So I feel
Okay.
like I should bring it up. But it's funny because I always wanted to try the games out. And Mario Party 3 was the one I always wanted. But that one's kind of the more expensive and obscure one on the N64. So I don't even know if a lot of people have played that one. I didn't get a chance to play it on GameCube because I was really into PS2 games at the time. So I kind of ignored those games. Because PS2 era was, come on, 6th generation was on really like almost the golden era of video games, at least in my opinion. But and then when it came to the Wii, I just didn't. I don't think I cared at that point.
yeah,
but
those
at the
ones
same
aren't that
time,
good. Those are like
the,
wicked dumbed down.
really,
So,
yeah,
like,
yeah.
Yeah, so 1 through 7, like there was like a board game, and like it was like an actual board game, and you had to like decide on where you want to go, and you'd roll dice. And the Wii ones, it's just a straight line, and like you roll and you just go straight, and that's it. It's like I don't understand it.
The Switch one was a board game, so they went back to the roots again.
It was and
They
then
were
they
kind
did
of run out of ideas.
Yeah, they just keep making the same again with new mini games. They don't need to do. I don't understand why Nintendo always has to be like they're the hipsters of video games. They every time they have to be like, no, this is what we did last time. We're doing it completely different this time. That's why I'm afraid of this new console. Like I'm terrified of what they're gonna do because the simplest, easiest thing in the world is just to make a nicer Switch, and they're gonna be like, no. We're going to make it so they have to play with their feet now. They have foot Joy-Cons. Let's go, bitches. You're going to have to hop around your room. I'm like, no.
That's good to talk about because we talked about this on previous podcasts. Like, I feel like Nintendo's going to do something else besides the Switch 2, which is what everybody wants. People want a backwards compatible, more powerful Switch. But Nintendo, they always come up with their bright ideas, and it just, I don't know, man. Like, every time they make a good system, the next system is not that great. That's how I feel about it. And I'm kind of nervous for the Switch 2 or whatever they're going to call it. I don't think it's going to be called the Switch 2. But what I mainly want from the new system, backwards compatibility, so you have access to all these other games. So we got to admit, this era for Switch, there's so many. Yeah, we got this is probably like the best Nintendo cycle ever. Like the Switch is like crazy dominant because it's a hybrid system. It's a portable and it's a home console. So making something that will be backwards compatible you think it'd be a smart move, but Nintendo, I don't know, man. I'm just kind of nervous. The extra year they're going to take to announce a new system, I hope I don't know, man. It's making me nervous, I would say. I was hoping to hear something this year, but now another year, like what's going on here? But what do you guys think about
I worry that it won't be backwards compatible because of how much success they've had with the Switch. with backwards compatibility not being a thing and remaking all the Wii U games.
Yeah.
And selling, tens of millions of copies of every game that they had on the Wii U. So all they have to do is, hey guys, we redid all our Switch exclusives that you love for the new system. Buy them again at full price.
Yeah, and it'll work too, because a lot of people won't even care. I mean, I think there's only a niche crowd that care about backwards compatibility. I hate to say that, but I feel like that's what it is, because Nintendo could do what you said, and everybody will say, yeah, of course, just re-release it again, and they'll buy it day one, all that stuff. So,
well, it's interesting being alive as long as we all have, where we've seen many iterations of the same company's, work. So we've all seen the NES, the SNES, the N64. It's interesting to see if you start at, like, say, the GameCube, how from the GameCube on, you almost see just how each iteration is stacking onto itself. So the GameCube gets you into good, solid 3D games. The Wii gets you into motion controls. The Wii U tries to make it now in HD with better motion control work, but still not great. But then there's this gamepad and DS thing going on that sort of is mirroring itself. Then you move over down to the Switch, and there's this sort of perfect iteration of, motion controls, touch screens, and, multi, all of the things. And I'm really curious what they'll do next. I don't really care as long as it's fun. And like for me, I'd be really content with what's here if they just gave us a little more power in the console 100%. So that, like, we could get better experiences. But I will say, with technology didn't move quite as fast in the NES and Super Nintendo days, whereas today technology moves 300 times as fast. And so it doesn't make sense for me for them to keep updating consoles. I feel like inevitably it will be something where Nintendo hosts it on their end in the cloud or whatever, and they're like, here's the new controller that you should all buy, and the new controller is the update, when you have to be subscribed to their online service to get the new innovation.
That's what they want.
That's where they all would like to head eventually.
I mean, I'm not sure about
there's no console at all that you purchase. It's just a subsystem, and you just need an internet connection and then a TV and a controller, and you'll be good. Yeah.
Well, they've kind of gone down that road for pre-orders. I know some certain pre-order items, they were only letting people pre-order it if you had a Nintendo subscription, which is a good thing in a way, knowing that people who are playing the system are doing it, and scalpers might have been stopped. But then, like I'm a collector of Nintendo. I love Nintendo. I haven't got Nintendo Online. Does that mean I can't buy your products?
Yeah. Yeah.
Where do you draw that line? I wanted to ask you a question, and we're all collectors. We don't want this to happen. But could you see the next Nintendo system being digital only?
No, not at all.
I wouldn't. It's not Nintendo. I think that they're going to be the last ones to do that, I think.
Yeah, I think so too, because Japan is all about physical media. Like they serious business. So, I mean, it could happen, obviously, but I don't think so. No.
I think it only makes
one to do it.
I think it only makes sense for them to do it. I don't think there's any sense. Yeah, I mean, like Nintendo's crazy hypervigilance around piracy and everything else. I feel like, I don't know, like so the original reason we have physical media is because there wasn't an internet service with which to distribute it, but then there was. But like, and Reggie, correct me if I'm wrong, I thought that in Japan it was physical media is not as big of a deal because the physical spaces of the homes is smaller. Am I wrong about that, or am I totally off?
Maybe I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. I was pretty sure that they're pretty serious about physical media. I mean, there's so much of it there that I figured, like they would be all about the physical media. And then another thing too, I think if they go all digital, piracy would be like even more stronger, like from that,
Good point.
But as far as like maybe you guys in the comments can help us out with that. Is Japan more about the physical media or the digital content?
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure about. Oh,
I'm speaking completely from ignorance. I don't know.
Me too. I'm not really thinking about it. Like, I wonder.
I know in terms of Blu-rays in Japan can go brand new upwards of like $100 because there's only a certain market for them, and compared to the same Blu-ray in the West that sells for like $20, it could be $100 in Japan, which I found that really crazy when I heard that out.
A friend of mine works for one of the big AAA game studios. He's in their marketing department, and he was sharing that from his perspective as a game development studio, like the amount of things you can do with the digital only future. I mean, this is some of my thoughts here too, so these aren't all him, but it just makes so much more sense as a company, particularly when you think about the resources that go into developing a game now versus before. It's sort of like, why wouldn't you take advantage of the kind of medium where you don't have to worry about distributing new carts and everything like that?
Right.
But I can't help but think that, like, I'll be really curious in the next 10 years if they'll go, okay, granted, there's a larger population of people playing video games than there ever has been in the history of the world. But does having something physically make you sell more copies? If you can prove that that's the case, then there will always be physical media. But if not, like at some point, I think Netflix for games is really the future, because the physical media has gone that way with movies and everything else. And I think there's some advantages here too. Like, I like the idea that a developer can fix a game that's broken and that can make it a better enjoyable experience, or they can add free maps or whatever. And also I can acknowledge that, in the Super Nintendo days, there's maybe one or two people programming the music. Now there's full orchestras that you have to record in a nice studio. And then also, like, so many other factors. So I love collecting. Don't get me wrong. I hope to collect as long as I can. But I just think from a pragmatic perspective, digital only just makes so much sense to me. But it's also like a grieving of like my history of like, this is how things were, and I can't go to Best Buy. I enjoyed standing in line with other nerds, at the midnight release, or like going to 5 different stores to find the game and it's not there. And then you finally find it. There's like a little dopamine rush from that. That's exciting.
Or even having to wait a week because it was sold out. And I mean, then you did get one later on and still played it.
Yeah.
I mean, there's so many advantages to a digital media. Let's just talk about this real fast. The announcement of the PS5. When we saw like both the digital version and the physical version together, I think a lot of us kind of knew what was going on right there. Then I come to look it up. 90% of games are mostly bought. 90 are through digital pretty much. So that kind of tells you the future already. I think a lot of us are trying to hold on to physical because we want to own the game. And in case it becomes expensive in the future, we won't be able to sell it or do whatever with it. We're losing that control with digital media, and that's what a lot of people are holding on to. And also, too, I like having a physical library and stuff that I can just grab. And but digital too, you're giving them more control over everything too. They could take out stuff of games where it's on the digital. If you have it on the physical media, it'll stay there or whatever like that. There's things like that people have a hard time letting go. And another thing too is that I understand that they can add more stuff, digital media and all that good stuff, but sometimes I feel like they take advantage of us with the day one patches. When it comes to physical media too, the newer physical media. I talked to you guys about this game called Daymare 94 on the PS4, PS5. I put that game in without patching it. It's a whole different intro. And like the characters are all jacked up and glowing later in the game. It's so messed up. It's like, how the hell did they put this on a disc?
Wow.
But that day one patch is there to fix it. But still, I just feel a lot of people take advantage of it. But I am going to go ahead and say this here. I am going to be accepting of digital media because, that's just where we're going. And the newer generation never really of gamers, I would say. They don't really know the value of having a physical copy of a game like we did. You know what I mean? So they have a different mindset. They're more happy just playing the game anywhere they want to go. I can play on my phone, on my tablet. Oh, I can play on my watch. Great. This is awesome.
Yeah.
Why would I have the physical cart or whatever I can have all this access? So, so I didn't even talk in a tangent about it. Yeah, it's a different mindset, but for us old school guys, I like the, having a physical media where it's mine. I feel it's mine alone. I like that. But
I don't think that a lot of people, unfortunately these days, they're not good with money. They do not understand finances, and they do not understand they're just pissing their money away with a digital copy you can't resell. True. Now, maybe at some point there'll be like some sort of digital online bill of goods or so, protection bill of rights or something that makes it so you can sell your digital games, and that could be a thing at some point. But right now, you just can't do that. And like, not that I'm out there wheeling and dealing and selling all my games, but let me put it this way: if I have an emergency and I need cash, like I can sell my games and I'll be fine. And you cannot. I can't be like, who wants my Steam library? Please, I need surgery. Please, it's not gonna.
or even
fly.
just 1 or 3, 4 of the games. You know?
Yeah.
At least
I'll
with
tell you this though
Steam,
too.
you can sell some of the skins and things
I
like
don't.
that.
If a lot of games weren't worth money like they are now, I mean, maybe many people wouldn't care about it too. You know, they wouldn't care. You know, if games were just worth whatever they were
There's a
when
lot
they
of
came out.
people who collect physically, I think, just because of the value, and they're not gamers. And if the games were cheap, they wouldn't be in the hobby. I think absolutely, you're right.
Oh, 100%.
I wanted to touch on something
yeah,
that Mort
yeah.
mentioned with subscriptions, and in particular exclusives. I can see down the line exclusives not being PlayStation or Xbox exclusives anymore. However, they'll be this brand new game's a PS Plus exclusive. And if you want to play it, it's only on PS Plus or it's only on Xbox Live. And that way they're guaranteeing that you sign up for that subscription.
So you're saying, Figsy, what do we think of that? Or you just
I can just see you mentioned something, and I'm like, that's 100% what they're gonna do because that's how they get you. Let's just not release this game anymore, and it's only on PlayStation.
What if the new Skyrim is only on Xbox Live?
Yeah. Day one.
They'll make the people
people will be happy about it because everyone will be like, this new game's so cheap. I get to play this new game cheap. Everyone will be happy about it, but really they're getting you to subscribe, and that's what right now all these companies, Xbox, Nintendo, Microsoft, they want you to subscribe to their game service. Like that's their primary goal right now. It's not selling consoles, it's not selling games, it's getting you to subscribe and to get that subscription going every month, and that's their goal right now.
Axiom made this comment. I know globally the ratio is 80% of gamers buy digitally versus 20% physical. I don't know anyone under the age of 20 that. Axiom, if you have a source for that, that would be interesting to quote. But that makes a lot of sense.
I believe those numbers today. It's becoming harder to buy games physically. Like if you want to get a game day one, you got to go out of your way to get it. You might have to pre-order it because the shops aren't getting as many copies anymore like they used to.
Yeah, you guys remember the days of walking into GameStop and you didn't even have to pre-order. They had everything ready to go. Like, I want this game. Yeah. Those days not anymore. You go to GameStop, hey, I'm looking for this game. You should have pre-ordered, sir.
Did you pre-order it? Did you pre-order? It's the first thing they ask.
Exactly.
Did you pre-order it? I'm like, no, it's a brand new AAA title. It's like the new Madden. You don't have it? I'm like, nope.
They don't even have it. It's just crazy. They stopped getting those collector's editions they were getting and all that stuff. It's just like, wow, dude, what the heck?
Yeah. I know from a point of logic, like RNG Gamer said this. He said, I did, or where did he say it? I used my collection as collateral to secure a loan to buy my house. That's amazing. But I think also this sneak preview for my Monday video, I don't think that these are games anymore. These are collectibles and being physical media, which is why we're spending all this money. And but when you see the value of it rising the way that it is, it's kind of nuts what's happening. And I really think 10 years from now we'll really see where this is landing. If I had to predict, I think Microsoft. Jarrell is right. Everyone needs to subscribe.
Let's go, Jarrell.
My prediction is I don't know where these rumors came from about Nintendo and Microsoft being buddies here, but Microsoft seems to have fallen off of exclusives. Yes, they had Starfield, but even that, I don't know what's going on there. It's a weird situation. But I think Microsoft's value to gamers right now primarily is their infrastructure. They seem to have stable systems, good online systems. The PlayStation stores have just been a buggy, slow mess in my experience. PS3, PS4 have never been intuitive and make a lot of sense.
Terrible.
I could see Microsoft developing an infrastructure to say to Nintendo or even Sony, hey, we can host all of this stuff easy and give people the best experience. Give us a cut of the money. And also here's Bethesda and all these other games studios as well. I don't know. That might be kind of a crazy idea, but
I see that because I see a Xbox not like a game, not like they used to be. They're more like they'll take everyone on. They would just rather you be part of their system, part of their ecosystem, and that's what they call it.
Yeah.
If you've got a phone, you can play Xbox games today. You've got a laptop, you can play Xbox games. They're making it so accessible to play their games, which is great. And they're offering more studios and they're going out of their way to buy as many studios as they want. It can be a monopoly, but they're making it seem accessible as possible, which is the complete opposite of what Sony do, where you know, it took years to get cross-platform across, where we all know it could have been done in like the early 2010s, and it took a decade longer than it should have.
Also, I wanted to mention too, you know, when it comes to the future of physical media, I feel I'm more chill about it because, you know, all the games I actually own in my collection, I could go back and play. I mean, I have enough games in my collection to play for a lifetime, so it doesn't really bother me as much as some people do, you know. And also with physical media, it's not made like it used to be, like during the 7th generation. Like we're getting games that are not fully on disc, you know, and everything like that. And aside from some indie titles, which are pretty much complete games, but a lot of times you're not getting a complete game on disc. You know, I feel another
or you're not getting the best version of the game at all.
Exactly. You know, there's going to be some kind of
janky version. Like they just released that Final Fantasy VII performance patch, which it looks gorgeous, looks very nice. It was a great patch. So it's like a love-hate thing. I'm like, isn't that nice they did that? And now I look at my copy like, someday I'm gonna try to play it and be like, this janky piece of shit.
And your experience is going to be with the patch. So even if it's really great without the patch, you play it with, and you remember that when you go and replay it years later when they do turn the servers down. And you want to play.
This is my plan. I'm hoping the PS5 Pro comes out, and then everyone just starts selling their stock disc versions for cheap on Marketplace. I'm gonna buy because you don't have all those plates. I got every plate. I got all the colors.
Every plate.
Dude, I'm gonna be buying up PS5s like crazy. I'm gonna buy like 5 or 6 of them bad boys, set them all up with all my pretty colors, and then I'm gonna open every game in my PS4 collection. I'm gonna install it on every single one of those PS5s and update it. I'm gonna do it for all. I'm gonna have like 5 PS5s with my entire collection installed on it.
Yep.
When a Pro finally comes out, I think it should be able to do 60 frames per second plus 4K. Finally, you know,
I'll still get one of those for my PS5 games, but I just don't think I'm going to need that for my PS4 collection personally.
Joe, not all heroes wear capes, man. I think that's the way to look at that.
That's what I'm doing. I bought for my PS3. I bought, you know, the super slims with the sliding door top ones. I bought 2 of those, 2 500 gig hard drives, and I installed everything on those. For that reason too. So I just have them all installed on those PS3s because those I feel like will last longer than the fats, and like I just want it updated. I don't have to worry about it. But then I get into I got sealed games, Reggie, that I don't want to open, bro.
That's what I was saying, dude. You got a lot of installing to do.
And a lot of those games are tiny, but then you get the occasional game like Gran Turismo 6 that takes up like a third.
That's true.
Yeah,
dude, that's true.
Like, do you fill it up with the big games or like all the little ones?
Yeah, good question.
I ain't putting MK Ultimate Mortal Kombat 80 gigs worth of skins and costumes and shit. Those games are ridiculous. Sometimes you buy like the all-in-one collection. And I'm like, I don't want all this. Never mind. Take it back. 120 gigs. Good Lord, that's a lot of gigs. I don't want all this. Like, you keep your extra levels, pal.
Oh man. The worst thing is you get home from the end of the day, like I like Call of Duty. I enjoy the multiplayer. I go sit down. I'm gonna play some Call of Duty tonight. 100 gigabyte update. I'm like, done.
Insane.
I don't have 4 hours for this.
Yeah.
That is. And then
the way the systems work now.
You haven't got the room for this. You have to delete games to install this update to play.
No,
and you got to be a plus. You got to be like a subscription member for the system to update on its own automatically. Because sometimes you'll get a notification that a game needs an update. While your system's sleeping, it'll update the game for you. But it's a service that these systems provide, which is annoying. It should be like a requirement.
Do you remember going to the store and buying a brand new game, coming home, popping it in, boot screen, you get that place, and then bam, you're in there. You're playing that game within 15 minutes tops. You might have a cutscene, a load bar or something, but you're in there. Nowadays,
we embraced our glitches back then. They were a part of the game.
That was fun.
I still feel like gaming's like that a lot today. Like we're talking about COD, but if we talk about most games today, internet speeds are quick today, and we're all on SSDs and things like that. Yeah. As soon as you said COD, I just went back to PTSD installing COD on a HDD on a PS3, and it's like, all right, if I install it tonight, I might be able to play tomorrow.
Yeah,
that's what I mean. Like sometimes you put it in, and you're like, install. You're like, all right, cool. And then like you wait like 20 minutes, 30 minutes. It's like done installing. You're like, yeah, baby. You go to play it. It's like, updating. You're like, son of a bitch.
Yeah.
I got another like 20
Horrible.
minutes of updating. You're like,
It's so frustrating.
man,
I
drives me crazy.
I want to drive back to something. RNG, wherever you got this data from, tell us where the source is. But and Figsy, I think you posted this, but it's quoted 854. I looked up the stat.
Yeah, it was a really interesting one.
Yeah.
40% of all video game revenues from in-game purchases.
Yeah,
And, again, we'll wait on the source, but that's a really
Wow.
like I believe that. And that would be including console sales, video game sales. So that's
but then also the stats behind it. 87% of game revenues from digital sales. 87%.
Wow.
crazy.
Wow.
That's wild. So 60% of the
Yes.
game sold are digital. So they have more than half are digital, but still that's pretty wild. The consumer seems to be voting with their wallet for digital.
Battle passes.
I'd love to see these figures from like 2018, 2015.
Yeah.
Because there was a time where it was all physical and it's just flipped on its head in the last 3 or 4 years. I would say COVID would have been the biggest year for when that happened, because it was the first year when people were like, I want to play this game and I can't leave the house, but I can download it so I can still play it. And then they would have done that once. And then once you do something once, it becomes, the new game comes out, I'll just download it again. I don't want to go out. And then you get into that habit and suddenly you're buying digital games.
Yeah. I did just pre-order or a while ago the Baldur's Gate PS5 Collector's Edition. And they just sent out an email saying like, hey, thanks for your patience. The Xbox One is like 5 discs or something like that for the Xbox One.
So do you know the reason behind this is?
Well, I think they're putting the whole game on it, aren't they?
Yeah, the whole game is on the Xbox version, which is great. Like, that's awesome. That's what I want. But it's not on the PS5 version.
It's not?
Yeah, it's weird they did that. Yeah, it's so weird they did that.
Well, I'm going to have to switch my copy then. My goodness. Wow.
They have to redo everything.
And have the whole game.
You get everything on the disc, I guess. It's just like, it's annoying, man. They do that. I mean, the whole point of having it on disc is you want everything there, especially after so much time has passed, but they don't care. Like, nobody cares. 80% of people bought it digital anyway, so.
Yeah.
We're good.
We're a dying breed, but, old stuff is cool.
We're not dead yet, so we're going to go play.
Well, I think what is scary, Reggie, is that game won Game of the Year, and it was digital only. So it's saying that you don't need to put out physical copies to get Game of the Year. You can have the biggest selling game as a digital game.
Yeah.
Right.
You know what time it is, Figsy?
It's the Figsy quiz time. Let's get it.
Let's do it.
Shoot.
By the way, Chaos for Hire, my heart goes out to you. On Call of Duty 2019 came out. It took 20 hours until he could play it because of all the installing and updating. 22 hours.
That's wild.
Yikes.
And then you log in.
All right, guys, let's get into the Figsy quiz. We've got a really fun one tonight. So before we start, we have a question for you guys in chat. So this is for everyone watching. So we've got 3 photos here. And these photos represent a video game. You guys have to name the video game from the photos.
Wow.
I don't know what's happening, but this looks like
I think I know this one already.
This is a good Saturday evening.
I feel like I know this one, but I can't answer it.
While you guys are thinking of that one, let's get into the quiz. So this one's going to be a lot of fun. I'm going to show you guys a photo of 17 different questions. And each question is going to have 3 words. And the 3 words will be video game titles of a certain franchise. So each question will be a franchise. You guys are going to be taking turns and guessing the franchises from the 3 words. So the 3 words will be a certain title from that franchise.
What do we get if we win? Is there any stakes in this?
Respect. Pride.
I'll send you one of Miyamoto's hangers. Okay.
I was just gonna say we have a fine collection of hangers that we have if you win. Some custom
whoever wins, I'll send a digital code of Horizon Forbidden West for PS5.
Damn.
I'm-
This
Whoa.
just got real.
Right.
This just got real.
So if you win, I got you. I got you, Mort. I'm pretty sure that Mort. I'm pretty sure you already got it, though, Joe. So
I don't know. I missed the 3-picture one. I was thinking like funny jokes I could make about it, and I came up short.
Mort, you're our guest tonight. Would you like to go first, or would you like to hand it over to someone else?
I'll go first. I'm curious. I'm
All right. So
Yeah.
Mort's going to go first. Joe, you'll go second. Reggie, you'll go third. I'm going to show you all the questions now. Here are our 17 different franchises. Now, each of these questions or numbers represent a franchise, and the 3 words are all video game titles. You have to guess the franchise. So I'll take the number followed by the franchise. Mort, you're up first.
sorry. So I'm supposed to say like for number 1, which franchise is it?
Yeah.
Castlevania.
Any number.
Yeah, you can do any number. Any number.
Okay.
Yeah, you did. Number 1. Yeah, you got it.
Number 1, Castlevania.
Number 1 is Castlevania. That's correct.
Thank you.
Well done.
All right, Joe, you're up.
Number 2 is Uncharted.
Number 2 is Uncharted.
Love it.
Reggie, you're up.
I'm gonna go with number 4, and it's oh god, dude, oh man, I thought this was gonna be easy, Figsy, but this is like I'm gonna go with Resident Evil.
4 is not Resident Evil. So
Ugh,
Reggie's got a strike.
great.
We'll do 3 or 5 strikes depending on how many you guys get wrong. So
Okay.
leave that up. All right, Mort, you're up.
6 is Need for Speed.
6.
I can pick any, or do I have to go in order?
Yeah,
No, you can pick any
Six
one.
is
Yeah.
Need for Speed.
All right. Yeah. All right.
Good job.
Joe, you're up.
We'll have to go for 7 because that's Mario Party, baby. It's gotta be.
7 is Mario Party. All
Let's go.
right, Reggie, you're up.
11 is gonna be Mortal Kombat.
11 is Mortal Kombat. Let's go.
I got a tricky one for you.
All right, Mort, you're up.
5 is SpongeBob SquarePants.
Nice job.
Whoa, 5 is SpongeBob SquarePants. Let's go.
Thank you.
It's like, do you get the hard ones or do you get the easy ones first and save the hard ones?
Any of them, I'm happy to get. 3 is The Simpsons.
3 is The Simpsons.
Nicely done.
Hmm.
All right, Reggie, you're up.
Oh, jeez, man. I'm gonna go with 15 Star Wars.
15 is Star Wars.
Yeah. All right. Whew.
Yeah, get harder.
All right, I got you.
Yeah.
9.
All right, Mort.
9 is Tomb Raider.
9 is Tomb Raider. All right, Joe.
I believe 13 is Batman.
13 is Batman.
Arkham City, Arkham Knight, and Dark Tomorrow.
Jeez,
Yep.
dude.
Yeah, the
You guys are
Tomorrow
knocking
one
these out.
confused me. I didn't know my GameCube titles. All right, Reggie, you're up.
Oh, 10 is. Did we already do 10?
No.
No, not yet.
10 is Call of Duty.
Dang it. That was my next one.
10 is Call of Duty. All right, Mort, you're up.
All right. Let's see.
Harder.
I'm going to try and guess 4 because there's a 64 in that. But I don't know. I'm thrown off.
I'm having the same issue with 4. I think 2 of them make sense to me, and 1 of them doesn't.
Yeah, Resident Evil 64, but that's too. I don't know if
He
it's
already
too-
guessed Resident. He already guessed Resident Evil.
No, I was just saying it
Yeah.
out loud. Sorry,
Yeah, Okay.
ruminating there. Oh, wait a minute, but those could be for different systems. I'm thinking they all have to be on the Nintendo 64.
No.
No, they can all be on different systems.
Okay. Sorry, give me. If I can't get this, I'll skip to another one. Someone spoiled one of them. I'll just go with the one that they spoiled.
Oh yeah, we try and not look at chat when we're doing
The fixie timer.
Okay, 17 Persona.
17 is not Persona.
Wow.
Mort's got his first strike. All right, Joe.
I think 4 is Doom, but I don't know what Evil is, because it's Final Doom and Doom 64. Yes,
You were right.
Yes, I
Nice
didn't know what the
done.
hell.
Joe.
I didn't know what that evil was, dude, at all. I'm
Nicely
like,
done.
Yeah, I'm like, dude, who's gonna trick people up here?
nice. Dude.
All right, Reggie, you're up.
What's left? Because I'm kind of nervous. See what's left here.
So we have 8, 12, 14, 16, and 17.
I think 8 is Gran Turismo.
Yeah, good job.
8 is Gran Turismo.
Good job.
Man, Fixie's slow with the answers. Like I want to say, yes, you got it right. It's like,
I gotta like change the photos and write the points down.
Oh, gotcha.
Right. Run the
Got
show
the edge.
here.
That was a tough one, but I just really looked at it.
Oh, I got one. Whose turn is it?
It's you.
You're up.
Yours.
Me? Okay.
Yep.
How about them apples? Edge of Time, Web of Shadows, Friend or Foe, 14 is Spider-Man.
Nice job.
Ooh, good job.
Yeah.
It is Spider-Man. Let's go.
Let's go.
All right,
Joe,
this
you're
one.
up. So 16, 17, and 12, I believe, are the only ones left.
17. We didn't do 17, right?
Not yet.
No.
12, I believe,
Oh, I know 12.
is Command and Conquer.
Yes, that's it.
Good one.
12 is Command and Conquer. That's correct.
And now
right,
we're
ready?
guessing, boys. I don't know these
The last two, man.
So
16 and
16.
17.
Okay, I know 16.
Oh.
I know 16. So am I up?
Wait, no, it's
No,
No, it's my turn. Well, what is it though? Let me know so I can get it right.
Hey,
I was
Reggie,
gonna
hold
let
on.
him say it because I knew it was my turn.
Reggie, don't check
Yes.
the private chat, okay? Just don't.
No, I'm not looking at it. I'm laughing, but let me see. I feel like I know what 16 is as well, man. It's just like it's jeez. Damn it, dude. I gotta say something. Fixie, there's no hints on this part of the quiz either. Like,
Nope.
No, not this time.
Hang on. I got a hint for him. Reggie, you can master this. I know you can.
I know, man. It's just that I feel like the timer's on me, and it's
Bro,
just
you're
like,
the
we can't-
chief. You got this.
Oh, I can get it. Oh no, I know.
I know I'm gonna be mad at
You're
myself.
gonna be it.
You know too.
Yeah, but that's all right. He's
Dude,
gonna get it before I do.
All right, you got 10 seconds,
The
Reggie.
title,
Okay, clues as well.
Hey, get low, okay? All right. I was talking to my kids just now.
oh my god.
Hey, lower.
I got about.
Lower.
I don't know.
Sorry, Reggie, hang on one
Reggie, what?
second. My kids are over standing tall. Hey, lower. Hey, lower down. Okay, good. Sorry to interrupt you guys.
What is it, Mort?
I have to pass it on. What is it, Mort?
Halo Modern Combat, Halo Wars, and Halo 5 Guardians.
Wow, so I'm not a Halo guy. Jeez. I wouldn't
He
have
could
got
have
it.
given you more Halo hints if he tried. He called you Master and Chief.
I know, man. I just couldn't get it in my head. When you had that timer too, man, it was a wrap when I heard the music.
All right. Before we go to our final question, here's the situation. Reggie's got 4 points. Mort and Joe are both tied on 6 points. There's one question left. It's Joe's turn. Joe, to win the game.
I don't know. I don't know. Masked, Joker, and Cursed. Man, I have no clue. Literally, I'm not gonna get it. So, Joker. Dude, I literally have no clue. Persona would have been because the Joker would have been my bet, but that's not the name of a game. I don't know any names of games with Joker. Like I really don't.
That's what's throwing me off too.
I'm gonna guess. No, Cursed too. Oh gosh, I have no idea. I literally have no idea. I'm gonna say, freaking dude. I don't know. Cursed Castilla.
Yeah, well, I will hand this one over to Mort now. Mort's the only other one who can win. Keep it exciting, Mort. Do you know the answer?
When I think of Cursed, I think of Cursed Crusade, but I don't remember what series that is.
Wait a minute.
Oh!
I can't win anyway. So.
I know what it is now. Hold on. It's something Joker. What is that game? This is gonna kill me. I know what this is. Is it no. It's not Mega Man. Zerk's X Joker or whatever. I'm gonna say Mega Man. I'm still gonna say it.
That's not Mega Man. I don't know if you guys will get this. I might introduce a hint.
Yeah, bring a hint.
Both.
Yeah.
A hint is it's an JRPG series.
Someone just put it in the comments and I saw it, and that's totally what it is. I know what it is.
No.
Whose turn is it? Is it mine? I have no idea.
I opened it up for both of you guys.
I saw it in the comments, so I've cheated. I cannot win. I exclude myself.
I don't know. Let's just call it a tie then, because I'm fine with that.
It's Dragon Quest.
It is Dragon's Quest. We will call this one a draw, guys. Well done, Mort.
Wow.
Joker.
Yeah, there's the Dragon Quest Monsters Joker game and stuff that put their Pokemon clones or whatever.
Yeah. Gotcha.
Well, Mort, I'll still send you the code, Mort.
What's that?
I'll still send you the PS5 game code.
Give it to the people. I've already got that game. Give it.
You already had that game? Really?
The Horizon one?
Yeah, Forbidden West.
Second I got it. Yeah.
Okay. Going to our chat question, we do have a winner, and the winner is Turner D Century with Cosmic Star. All right, well done.
Oh, I thought it was Fantasy Star. Never mind.
No, that's definitely heroin in the end.
It's kind of funny.
Star Jenny Fentanyl. What the hell?
That's
By the way, that's a good game. That's a good game. That's a good game.
So it's actually quite like Phantasy Star in a lot of ways. Like it reminds me of Phantasy Star 2, like the graphic style of it. Mm-hmm. It's a good one. Yeah, I picked it up recently, a few months ago. Speaking of pickups, we got anything we want to show off?
Yeah, always.
Yeah, it's pickup time, huh?
Yeah.
Okay, let me grab myself.
I'll go quick. Yeah,
Reggie, what's? I'm excited to see what you got from Game On. What you picked up.
Yeah, I'm
excited. No.
I'm grabbing some of the stuff I got today, and I'll show you some stuff I got from Game On as well.
All right, sweet.
So I'll go quick. I only have like 3 things. So I picked up Horizon. So this is why he's not going to give me the code. So
nice.
He knew I was going to pick this up. So this was on sale for like $9.99 this week.
Wow.
And I was like, well, take my money. I'm like, I can't have it. It's the launch edition too, which I don't really know what that means, but it has some weight to it. So I'm assuming it comes with something.
There is DLC for that game now, so it's like
Sure. Yeah, so the reason this is $9.99 right now is because that means the complete edition with the DLC is on its way. So this always happens. The vanilla release version that it goes on sale for super cheap, like insanely cheap, so you can't say no to it, and then you buy it, and then like 2 weeks later the better version comes out. That's what always happens, but that's okay. I'm fine with it. For $9.99, this is plenty of content for me. I'm happy with the purchase.
Awesome. It's a great series.
This game just looked kind of interesting to me. I'm a weirdo. I don't know. I like just weird games, but this is called Trailblazers. It's an arcade racer that has like a Splatoon element to it. So what it is that you, I don't know if you can see it very well in the back here, but you race around the track and you color the track with paint and you make it your color. And then the next time you go around the lap, if you go on your color, it speed boosts you. So the idea is to overwrite your opponent's paint so that you have all the sweet, juicy speed boosts, and he's got nothing.
I like Splatoon.
Yeah, that's the idea. Yeah, look,
you got nothing.
Exactly. And they cry and they crash into the wall and they quit life because you beat them so bad at this game. Yeah, it looks fun. It was like $19.99, and I like arcadey racer game shit like that. So like, the less realistic it is, and the more ridiculous it is, like the more likely I'm gonna like it for racer games. Which, by the way, I saw on your channel that little short about that prototype stunt car.
Yeah, stunt racer.
Stunt racer is like the best N64 game.
It's so good.
It is so freaking good. I remember I used to play it all the time, and I absolutely loved that game. Yeah. And as I remember when I first kind of got back into collecting again, I thought about collecting N64, and that was like the first game I looked up. I'm like, how much is Stunt Racer? I was like, holy Jesus, never mind. I'm not collecting N64. It was so expensive.
I got my copy for like $30, and then quite literally 3 months later, it was worth $100. Like I got it right before it boosted up.
That's the way to be. But yeah, it's a great game. So if anybody's looking for like a new game for N64, if you've never tried that game, it is so fun. You basically have a car, and it's like half pipes and ramps, and you do tricks, and it is just unbelievably addicting. It is incredibly fun.
Joe, give me your two favorite racers of all time.
Need for Speed Underground for sure. Absolutely love that game to death. And then I honestly like Sonic Transformed Racing.
Yes.
Excellent. 1, 2, or 3.
One of my favorite. The transformed one, not the All-Star.
That's the second one.
Transformed is so good.
Yeah.
It's I bought it on my Vita. I bought it on PS3. I wish it got. I was so upset. Well, not upset, but they came out with the new one, the Team Sonic Racing, or whatever. And I was like, oh. And I played it. I was like, this is not as good. I'm like, just give me a port of that game, please. I want that on the Switch. I love that. My girlfriend too. We absolutely love that game. But there's a lot of like good kart racers, believe it or not. I really like Nickelodeon Kart Racers 3. That one's actually really good.
Really?
Yeah, it's really good. It is. It's not as good as those other games, but it's got some unique elements to it. I really like it. And then 3 has like all of the Nicktoon characters, and they the first 2 games I don't think they have voice acting, but 3 they do.
Oh, great.
And that really makes a huge difference to me. Like if you're gonna put Ren and Stimpy in a game, if I'm not hearing Ren and Stimpy yell at each other, what the hell's the point? You know what I mean? Like you need to have the voices in there. So that was like it's good. The third one's good. And then I got this ready. Yay! I showed you this. I'm so excited.
Yes, you're gonna open it, right?
I'm gonna play, and I'm gonna open it.
Dude, I don't believe you, man. Open it right now, just to make. No, I'm just kidding. You're good. Is he gonna do it? You gonna do it for real?
I'll open it.
On today's episode of Breaking the Seal with Radical.
I know, man. I had to go back to that series.
I prove you. See, I opened it right here.
Okay, I believe you.
I'm just kidding. That's just the fake wrapping I put on there before the show. That's all I got this week. Just those 3.
That's great.
Okay. Fixie already put me on the spot, so I guess I gotta go. So Mort, I'm gonna start with some stuff I got today, and then I'll get to some of the pickups from the Game On Expo. So today, before I got home and everything, I picked this up through a trade at my local game store, Graham Games, You guys are familiar with Game and Watches, right?
Yeah.
Well, I got the Mario Brothers Game and Watch in box.
Ooh.
Wow.
Yeah, it's cool. You on the back of it shows you the dual ones they had with the dual screens. So
That's
those are all the
awesome.
ones with the dual screens. And this box is so rare. I tried to look for it on eBay, and nobody had the box. And not only that, but the box comes with. You already know what I'm going to say, don't you, Mort?
The manual.
Yes, it comes with a manual. It's kind of plastic. Yeah, there we go. I got it out. It comes with a manual. So I got to figure out how this thing works and everything. So it's pretty cool stuff. This is printed back in 1983. This thing is 40 years old. But yeah, happy to have this complete. And the reason I picked it up was because my mom bought me this back in 1989 or 90. She got it from Toys R Us. And I was so happy to have it. And the first thing my dad told me is not to take it to school. And I took it to school. And I didn't get it taken away by the teacher. I played it during recess where, I wouldn't get spotted. But on my way home, I was playing it while I was walking with my friend. And my dad pulled up in his car. So I was walking past a street light. And I didn't want him to see me have it. So I panicked. And I put it down like by the street light. Like thought it was going to be hitting or whatever like that. End up never seeing it again, obviously. But, that's how I lost it. So ever since then, I always wanted to have one again. So that's the nostalgia in me and everything like that. So that's why I picked that one up.
This is exactly what we mean by like items that have like a connection or a story. It's not just about the game. It's about the item and the meaning of it to you. Like, yeah.
It's not even the same one or anything, but it's still got that whole story attached to it now.
Yeah. It was. My dad would have been pissed if he caught me with it too. I almost feel like maybe it was worth it not getting caught. But anyways, next game here, we got Luna Knights for the PS4 and the Switch, and this game is a Metroidvania adventure, sprite-based, pixelated, all that good stuff. But if you guys play Record of Lotus War or even Castlevania Symphony of the Night, that's how this game plays. Very well done. A lot of fun. This game has a gimmick where you stop time and you gotta kind of get through obstacles like that. So it's very cool. It reminds me a little bit of Time Spinners, but it's a bit different. Next game here, because of Joe, I ended up picking up this from PlayAsia, Dodonpachi Resurrection, a cave shoot 'em up. Game is fantastic. A lot of fun. It was actually released on the PS2, but obviously, region locked and all that stuff. A lot of people don't want to go through that. Thank goodness for these newer systems not being region locked, so you don't have to wait for anybody to pick these games up. Like first person to get it physical, boom, I'm buying it. So happy to have these.
And M2 is the best company for those games, and that port is like flawless. It is like
really
it's like 2 frames of lag. It is insanely. I think it's better than the PS2 port.
Okay, so that's hella good to know.
It's insane. Yeah. So I'm not one of those people who can really tell the difference between 2 frames of lag and 7 frames of lag or whatever. But apparently, if you can, then these are amazing. They're straight arcade ports, basically.
Don't laugh at me for this next one, guys. I thought it might be cool to have. I thought it looked like a cute game, but Princess Peach Showtime.
I want to play it.
I played Super Princess Peach on the DS, so I feel like she finally got another game. I'm not sure I like her look on the cover. I like the original look of the Japanese version of how she looked, but I think they wanted her to look more like she did in the movie. That's why they changed her look on this version. So I haven't even really got to play it yet. I played a little bit of the intro and then I had to put it down, but I'm looking forward to playing this one. I know it's going to be good though, because Nintendo doesn't put out junk.
Can I say something about this?
Just kidding.
Can I say something about that game?
Yeah,
so my daughters, they're 8 years old. We downloaded the demo. From the moment they played that demo, every day, multiple times a day, Dad, can we please all get our own copy of Princess Peach? Have. So it came out. So I bought them all a copy because of various reasons, and nonstop since that game came out on Friday yesterday. So this morning, yesterday when they got from school, they've been playing it nonstop, and they're want to see this thing. It's such a cool game. There's so many different things that you do in the game. It looks and feels. I haven't played it, so I could be totally off, but it feels a bit like Luigi's Mansion 3 to me, in some respects, with how it looks and feels. Where you're going through a big giant theater, and there's all kinds of things to do in the theater. It's a really cool game, but I bought I'm sponsored by a brand called Goodies, so I got one from them, and then I got had to get a couple of extra when they were like, please let us get one, and I needed to get one right away.
So you had to buy a total of 3 copies of it?
This is the only time I've done that. No, I bought them each their own copy of Animal Crossing so they could all play and go on each other's
Just gonna
islands.
say Animal
Okay.
Crossing that you had to. Like
another
in my
game.
house, there's like 3 copies of Animal Crossing.
Yeah, but I mean, like Rabid, and then kind of a fun one. They I can't get into it. It's another story from another time. But anyway, yeah, good stuff.
Okay, I'll continue here. Next game I got is today I got Owlboy for the Switch.
Oh,
Now this is kind of cool because this is related to my Game On pickups, which I'll show in a bit. But this is a Metroidvania game that was made by one guy. It took him 10 years to make this game. I believe it took him 10 years to make it, but he did the whole game by himself and everything. So this is definitely a hidden gem that a lot of people don't know about. Obviously, Metroidvania, but man, the graphics, pixelated graphics, it's just so well done, and it's a shame. Sedesco is the one that published it, so maybe that's why a lot of people don't know about it. But definitely, this one's going to be like sought after in the future, I believe. And it's also available on the PS4.
I agree with that.
Today I got Blade on the Game Boy Color. This is another hidden gem for that system. I always wanted to get it complete in box, but now it's gotten expensive. But fun game for the Game Boy Color. This is probably the best Blade game ever, even over the PS1, and I think there's one on PS2. Yeah, Blade 2. But definitely this one is the one to play. It's pretty much like a beat 'em up.
Is there a new Blade game coming out? Am I crazy?
Only there's a new. Well, I don't know.
There's a new show coming out. I know that, but I didn't know if it was making a game. For some reason, I thought they were.
Did you know there was an old show based off of Blade? Nobody even knows about it. It came on like late at night, but there's like a series, one season of Blade of this, and yeah, it didn't last long. But anyways,
was it on the CW? That could be.
It probably was. It probably was. I don't know too much about this game. Maybe you do a more Super Epic for the Switch. They got this game today.
I've heard of that game, but I don't know anything about it.
It looks like a pixelated adventure game where you play as these animal creatures. So it's by Numbskull Games. Limited Run did I think help publish this as well. So I don't know. I'm pretty sure it's a decent game, but this one was kind of like a blind buy. So hopefully it'll be a good game. It looks like it comes with good packaging. It comes with some kind of like badge edition. So I guess I get 6 badges with this. I was hoping for like a soundtrack CD with our art book, but yeah, that's good too.
Nice.
Next game here, I got the Dark Side Detective, which is a point and click game, like old school style.
Cool.
Yeah, these games are actually really funny. The dialogue in these games are hilarious. But I don't know how people feel about those games these days, because you got to be patient to play these type of games. But yeah, definitely a cool pickup. And then I guess last thing from today, I think I showed this the other time, but I'm going to show it anyway. I got Neo Geo Pocket Color Selection 2, Volume 2 for the Switch. So,
that looks rad. I would buy that.
Yeah. I got it off Amazon because of the Steelbook and all that good stuff. So yeah, pretty cool if you like your Neo Geo Pocket games.
Reggie, how much was that?
It's $60 on Amazon.
50.
So with tax, it's $60 on Amazon. With tax, it'll be 66.
That's the Steelbook edition, though. There's a cheaper standard.
Yeah, that's the Steelbook edition. There's another one that's probably $20 cheaper.
It's 40.
Yeah, I'd have to get the Steelbook one because we're collectors.
There you go. I got this game because of Will.
The Neo Geo Pocket Collection, I wasn't sold on that, and then I just looked up how much the actual individual games cost on the Neo Geo Pocket if you bought them.
Yeah.
I'm buying this. This is a deal, baby. This is a deal. This is a steal and a deal. I'm grabbing these.
You know what's crazy, Joe? They put enough games on here so they can make a Volume 3. Volume 3 will definitely be their last one they make, but they can make a Volume 3.
There's only so many that you would want to have,
Yeah. They say some good ones for Volume 3 because that one's going to have Fossley, a strategy RPG a lot of people don't know about. And this game, Joe, I got because of you. You told me it came with 2 games, Devil Engine for PS5 and the Switch. Pretty good shoot 'em up. And it comes with a game called 1993, I think it's called. And it's funny, the 1993 game is embedded on the cart on the Switch version, but it's a download code for PS5. So I would have skipped this version if I knew that. But,
I didn't know that. I didn't realize that.
Yeah, it didn't even pop up. I was like, man.
I kept the PS5 one sealed, and I opened the Switch one, so that makes sense.
Oh, there you go. Now, Mort, we could get into the stuff I got from the Game On Expo. If you guys are you guys cool with that still? Like if I show some of that stuff?
Yeah. I can tell you what I got, but I don't have any of it with me. But yeah.
I got Metal Masters. It is some kind of mech robot versus fighting game. This was the first purchase I got at the show. The game was really rare for Game Boy, but Limited Run did a reprint of it, so got that. Gunstar Superheroes. This version is going to be better than the one I have already because my one I have has a torn tab on it, and I'm really particular about games I really like, so I had to get this version because it was way better looking. So I'll sell my other version. One of the lamest games you could get on the Switch or PS4, Space Blaze. It's a shoot 'em up. I did a big trade at the show, so I got a lot of these through trade at the show, thankfully. So yeah, there's that one.
What makes that game lame? I've never heard of it.
It's a generic shoot 'em up, a horizontal shoot 'em up. It just doesn't have anything really going for it. The only thing I think it has going for it is the music. When you get to the third level, the music really starts to pick up, but it's just very generic to what we get with shoot 'em ups today. Like, shoot 'em up really has to bring you in, like lots of explosions, like crazy attacks, stuff like that. This one's like something from early 1990s, I would say. It's like kind of like the
just look up the first boss fight and you'll laugh. It's like
it's like
happens. It's like a fish that just goes like nothing
it's
happens. It's like okay.
All right.
It's like the elevator music of games or something like that. So if you like elevator music, you'll
it's not good. It's rare. It's one of those. It's not.
Yeah,
it was expensive too, but it got reprinted.
Yeah.
Yeah. Siberia. I really like the Siberia series. So I got Siberia on the Switch Part 3. This version includes the DLC, which is nice, embedded on disc. So on the cart. I'm so happy that series is back. And another one I got. Well, I didn't get this at the show. I'll save that later.
Siberia never really went away. We got PS2 free, PS4. We always go to Siberia.
It kind of went away for a lot of years after Part 2, because when we got Part 3 finally, it was like 13 years later almost, I believe, but I could be wrong. But Infernax, a great action game. It plays kind of like Castlevania, Metroidvania, Contra. If you put the Contra code in. What's charming about this game, it has so many different endings and so many different ways to get these endings. Is hilarious. Like an example, if you go, this game has ends and everything, right? So if you keep sleeping at an end at a certain point in the game, you'll basically sleep through the whole game. Like show your guy sleeping in the bed, and show the credits going up, and there's a window next to him, and the window showing you everything that's going on during the time he's sleeping. Like there's fires going on, people fighting. It's hilarious, dude. And then you can even get an ending where you get on the island. And you fight your first monster, and then after you beat him, you go back to the boat you came on and just say, "Hey, let's get out of here." And it'll show another ending, which is hilarious, man. It's a great game that a lot of people don't know about. So definitely pick up Infernax if you ever see it. It's on PS4 as well. Soulstar, a shoot 'em up on the Switch and PS4 and PS5. This is a new shoot 'em up. Thankfully, it's not like a port or nothing like that. So Red Art Games put this out. Definitely stands out when it comes to vertical shooters. I would say lots of different ships to choose from. And another thing I want to say, Red Art Games is finally starting to bring their games over to America. So they have an Amazon store, thankfully, now you can pick up a lot of games from. But yeah, I saw this at the event. I have it on PS4. I wanted it on Switch because obviously I want it on the go. So I picked this one up. And then we got Guns and Runs for the Switch. I have it on PS4 as well. It's a running gun game. Very basic, but at the same time, above average, I would say. It's definitely worth having. Ooh, man, a lot of games from the show. But let's keep it going here. We still making good time, right, guys?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay. All right, so this game right here got Rigid Force for the Switch. This is a horizontal shoot 'em up that plays like R-Type, and this is by a company called Game Fairy. This is their last release they made.
Like R-Type. It looks exactly like R-Type. It's got like the same little ball on the front that you should. Very, very. It's R-Type.
and most of these games I've shown you guys already, I got them mostly through a trade because I brought a bunch of stuff to trade to get rid of. So this was like an awesome, picking up all these games is awesome. But yeah, Rigid Force, and then I got Avix Unit Yuki for the Genesis. This is the second version they made. So the first one only plays on the HD Genesis. This one plays on all other Genesis versions, the models out there. So this is a platform shoot 'em up by Sarimaro DJ. They are actually trying to port this game physically for the Switch right now. It's on the Switch store already, but yeah, they're trying to get a physical for the Switch, which they're working on.
Cool.
But here's the Genesis version. It has the
So
8-bit, the chiptune
too,
music.
right?
Yeah, it's on
Dreamcast
Dreamcast
too?
as well. Yep, on that system as well. So pretty cool to have that.
I love that they're still making Dreamcast games.
Mhm.
Yeah, me too, man.
That's
And
the
then,
system that we all got robbed. I swear, it was such a good
Oh,
system, and
we need a couple more years of that system. Definitely.
I just wish I was a little more. I mean, I wish we got a PS2 back then, and I kind of regret not supporting the Dreamcast more. Like, I feel like I'm a little responsible. I'm like, I loved it, and I didn't buy one. I just played.
You
my
got
friends.
given a PS2 back then. A Dreamcast, not a PS2. You'd be like, what's this? Where's my
having
PS2?
two consoles back in the day would be like. You would have to be a rich family or something. That was just an unheard of thing. Like I never met anyone who had like multiple consoles. They had one.
Yeah, that was like a rarity back in the day. Someone had multiple systems. It's like one or the other. That was it back in the day.
Yeah, like they had a Nintendo or a Genesis. I rarely went over someone's house to have both. Or God forbid they had a TurboGrafx.
Oh shit! Just noticed something. But anyways, so when I showed you guys Owlboy earlier, the reason I picked it up because it was going for cheap. It was like $16. But I got this one from Game On X. This is the collector's edition. This was only $50 at the show, and now I don't have to open it right now. So hey, Joe, I'm keeping it sealed just for you, man. So.
That's right. That's right.
One of the most treasured items I got from Game On Expo were these. These was actually gifted to me. My buddy Elvis, he knows that Resident Evil 3 is one of my favorite games out of the Resident Evil series, out of all of them. And he saw this and he picked this up for me. So this is Resident Evil 3 on vinyl. So now I have the vinyl soundtrack for it. And dude, Resident Evil 3, man, like so many memories with that game. I know it's not the best Resident Evil game, but it's just my favorite. And like having this album is awesome because one thing about vinyl, what Jason told me, Metal Jesus, he said the whole thing with vinyl, you're listening to all the tracks. You're not just picking out some of them like you do with CDs and stuff like that. You just you play it, and just let all the music just play, and it's just fantastic experience. So definitely happy to have that. My other friend, Gordo, I guess he had an extra copy, and he gifted me this. I thought he was gonna give me part 1, but he gave me part 2, which is actually my favorite game out of that series, and that's Klonoa. So I got the Klonoa vinyl. So Klonoa games. I mean, I hope they make a third one. We'll see what'll happen because the Reverie series actually sold pretty well. But I would love to see a third game made. But
I love the remasters that they did too. Those were great.
Yeah, brilliant.
Yeah, they did a great job on those, man. So I think it kind of lit a fire under them to possibly make another one. We'll see how it goes. But
that'd be sick.
Yeah,
I feel like that's the way to test if a sequel would work these days. Be like,
well, they have to do it that way.
Our old games, if they sell well, we'll make a third one.
So everybody buy Tomba when it comes out. Or Tomba. I want a new Tomba.
I got this from Joe Media Glitch at the show, a PN03. Capcom. Yeah. This game exclusive. It was a part of the whole deal with Capcom putting games on the GameCube exclusively. Like when they did that Resident Evil thing, this was one of those games, a part of that deal.
We got to use that as a thumbnail, dude.
Possibly, dude.
Yeah. Somebody's getting out there.
I don't know what to say about this game. I'm gonna try to get into it and see how I feel about it. But yeah, that's another game I got at the show. Here is a Aleste collection for the Switch. So this comes with like pretty much all the Aleste games except Musha and also Robo Aleste, which is the Sega CD version.
It's too bad there's one there.
I think they're saving it up to make a volume 2. That's what I think they're doing. So yeah, got those, and I got another cool game here, Mail Mole for the Switch. You play as a mole on vacation who delivers mail. He gets called back into action. So I know, right? It's just so like it's a cool game though, man. It's actually pretty funny. So I got this collector's edition through that trade as well. So happy to have this.
The Switch rules for games like that though.
I'm telling you, the Switch is like. There really is, man. It's gonna be. I feel like. Is there more Switch games than PS4 games already yet? Or
no?
When it comes to fifth,
more?
It's still a long way.
Yeah, I feel like PS4 is still up there though.
Really?
Yeah, I think.
Wow.
Because the import ones, like the PAL ones.
Cyrus, how many Switch games are there? Because it's like 3,500 PS4 games or something like that.
I mean, we're getting close to 1,000 PS4 limited run games at this point. You know,
That's
really.
Unlimited
So-
run.
Unlimited run games. We'll never stop printing them.
I know, right? They'll make their own system if they have to make games. They're all about it.
Hey,
Next
they
one
don't-
here.
they- I'm down with that. I'm down
Yeah,
with
yeah.
that.
Here is the Strength collection. So you play as an apartment manager trying to kick people out of the apartment who don't pay their rent. And, you know, you see like the scummy look on the back here, or one of the guys here. I guess I don't know if he's one of the main characters or not, but it's a weird side scrolling adventure horror game possibly, or you got to kick tenants out that are kind of weird or whatever like that. So definitely a different game, but it comes with part 1 and 2.
Makes me think of like bounty hunting or something.
Yeah, something like that. And then I got these from a super rare Ship of Fools. I don't know too much about
Oh, I
this at
picked
all,
that up
but
too. I
did you?
grabbed that.
Have you?
Yeah.
Okay.
I
Yeah,
have
the PS5 version is like only 1,000 copies, but the Switch one is like 4,000 copies. So yeah, it's just gonna be rare.
I think that I don't see Super Rare doing PS4 and PS5 for much longer. I just don't see that.
Yeah,
It's like
I don't see it either.
they're not selling out very fast. They still have PS4 games in stock that they made. I just don't see them doing it for as long.
Well, when it comes to PS4 games and PS5, they gotta have games that really stand out. They're like, you know, like anything on Switch will almost sell, but PS4 people are looking for something that they're gonna play usually. I don't know.
They do a lot of niche like indie games, and like I feel like their audience for indie games is stronger on the Switch than
Well,
the
if I'm going
PS4.
to play a niche indie game, I probably want to play it on the Switch over a console.
Yeah. Because the Switch is ideal for like low res games that aren't like pushing the systems. You know what I mean? Like that's exactly where I want to play my indie games. Like I don't need to play Undertale on a PS5 or something. You know, I don't care. You know, who cares? Like,
All right, I got an interesting stat for you. This is poorly researched, so bear that in mind. The quick glance says that the PS4 has over 3,300 physical copies on it. The quick glance says, and this is where I'm stuck. How many Nintendo Switch games are there? 10,000.
Well, we got a real stat for the Nintendo Switch. So Cyrus is going for a full set. He says there's 1,800
Okay.
Switch titles in a US set, and then including the Japanese and PAL exclusives gets to about.
Okay, well, on top of that, there's been 7,900 more games released, not on physical then, because according to this, there's been 10,903 games released on the Nintendo Switch digitally. And
Coming soon to limited run games.
Yeah.
And the Wii U had 7.
Yeah, the Wii U has 7 games. Yeah.
10,000 games is actually crazy.
That is crazy.
It is. It is insane. You know.
So much garbage. But
Yeah.
Yeah. At least
Sorry, do you think the
70%.
completionist is going to buy all those?
Well, just
I'm
install
sure
all
that
of
was
those games on the
planned with
system.
someone's money, but not anymore.
Sorry,
Reggie, that's an incredible pickups. Is that all of them, or do you have more?
No, I have a couple more if you guys want to see them, and then
Yes.
I guess like keep them going. Okay. I finally got another copy. Well, I had this game before and I got rid of it, but you know, with the series coming out and the season 1 here and then season 2 about to come out hopefully sometime this year, I got Twisted Metal for the PS3.
Yeah,
this is the last Twisted Metal game they made, and this one is dark, man. I mean,
I like that game.
They added the FMV back into it, full motion video. But man, the story is dark, man. Like I was like, wow, dude, like what the heck? Like these endings are just brutal. But definitely a great Twisted Metal game. And if you guys haven't watched the series yet, make sure you do because the series is freaking fantastic. Next game here, I got Tunic for the I always say if I say this, guys. So Tunic, this is like a Zelda game for the PS4 and the Switch. You play as a fox, as you can see on the cover, and definitely something I'm looking forward to get into soon. The game plays more of like an isometric view than like a top-down view like Zelda games do, but I guess that's the way it stands out. But pretty cool game to have. Then I got
that game looks
yeah.
gorgeous.
We got Bubble Bobble Part 4, Bubble Bobble for Friends for PS4. Just to let everybody know who is watching, Strictly Limited has put their games, their collector's editions on Amazon finally in their own little section. So you get a lot of stuff that you didn't want to wait to get shipped to you here in America finally. So
They're
got
such
this
a great
one.
company.
They are.
They got a bunch of stuff on sale on their website too. They have a spring sale. It's like I think the collector's edition is like 3 for $99 or something right now. Some crazy deal.
Yeah,
So
it's
if you're
freaking
into them.
awesome.
And they ship fast.
And I think this is the last item I'll show. Yeah, I think I showed everything here. Hold on a second. Joe and Fixie saw this the other day, but this is one of the main things I bought at the show, which I got this for $50. But this is the fight stick, Street Fighter 3. Excuse me. You guys can see that.
I mean, the impressive thing is you got it home.
Hard to hold it. It was hard getting this home, dude. I remember the stewardess got mad at me because I didn't check my bags in. I was like, "No, I'm not trying to leave this anywhere. This comes with me everywhere." So, matter of fact, I actually want to take it out of the box so you guys can see it a bit better here, because it's one of those. I got this before, a long time ago, at Fry's Electronics, if you guys remember that store. But I ended up selling it because I needed the money at the time, and I was selling a lot of stuff back then. But here's what the stick actually looks like. Like, what's up? So you can see it here. You can see Chung-Li. Yeah, it's a beautiful stick, man, and I'm very happy to have it again. Finally, they only made 2,000 of these, so very cool. But
is it Hori that made it, or
oh, let me see. Is it Hori? No, it's Mad Catz. So I might have to change the buttons, but that's okay.
Well, not everybody likes the Hori buttons anyway.
Well, Mad Catz started to get good around this time because they started getting into the fighting game community, so they started really stepping up their parts and everything like that. So Hori and Mad Catz is probably where it's at still. But yeah, that's most of the stuff I got from Game On. Mort, I'm gonna do a video soon to get everything down again, but yeah, I just haven't done it yet. But yeah, that's it.
Last year, it took you a year to do the last one.
And right before the show.
Waiting on that PS1.
Wait. Put it back on me real fast because I got 4 more games here. I forgot.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
I just want to get out of the way so I don't next time we do a pickup, I'll have all this stuff done. I got Castlevania Symphony of the Night for the Saturn.
Ooh.
So they did an English port of this fan translated, and they fixed a lot of issues the Saturn version had. So this is like I don't know if I can say the best way to play Castlevania Symphony of the Night, but if you want extras, this is definitely the way to play it, especially if you only have the Saturn or whatever like that. It's pretty cool. Then we got Mega Man X for the Saturn. So got that. Yeah. Got the animated cutscenes and all that stuff. Every time you pick a robot, it shows an animated cutscene, so it's pretty cool. And there's the back there. And all these come with manuals too. Then we got Christmas Nights for the Saturn. So this game is awesome. You know, it's definitely fun to play during the holidays. Open up the presents and all that stuff. Has its own little story to it. Pretty cool. But I got a long box version of that.
I would love them to redo Nights, release it.
They actually were talking about it. Did you ever get Nights Journey of Dreams?
No, I don't have that game.
You know it's on the Wii, right? It's a sequel.
I have that one. Yeah.
It's a good sequel. It just got overlooked though, unfortunately. But and then here's Bulk Slash for the Saturn. That's another cool game that it's like a mech fighter or whatever. But yeah, I'll find out. I gotta hook my Saturn up. So all right, guys, that's everything. I just want to get them all out of the way. So sorry it took so long.
It's all good, man.
It is all good. That's cool. Figsy, did you get anything?
I haven't got any pickups, but I got more PS1 games to show you guys from my collection.
Yeah. So that's what you got.
So I've been going through my entire PS1 collection one at a time, showing you guys what we got, and we're up to Speed Freaks. Another fun racer. Seems to be like half the games I own for the PS1 are all racing games.
Speed Punks in the US.
It's awesome on the PS1. We have another racing game. This one's got the original $5 price tag I paid for it.
Love it.
It is Sports Car GT. I don't think they could have thought of a more generic name for a racing game than that.
EA.
Never played that one, to be honest. Coming into one of my favorite series of all time on the PS1. I went out of my way to get Black Label copies because I had to have Black Label copies. It took a while to upgrade them all. And of course, it's Spyro the Dragon.
Yeah.
So a little bit sad, actually. It was the one series that I had all 3 of them in platinum, and they were my childhood copies. but my collection's all Black Label, so I made the decision to sell my childhood platinum copies and get the Black Label versions.
That's awesome, though.
No regrets. Spyro 2. Gateway to Glimmer. I recently got the platinum on all three of these on PS4. So much fun to replay them again. Trophies.
Those games still
And
hold up
my
really
favorite, best
they
Spyro
look
game
nice.
ever. Year of the Dragon.
well. I think
This cover is so nostalgic. I got this for Christmas, like 2001, and yeah, I just remember having so much fun playing.
I'm playing the Reignited trilogy right now, and I just love those games.
How good is it? Oh, it's so
so good.
amazing.
So good.
The skateboarding in that game. Oh, it's so good.
It's good stuff.
Now we got some Star Wars games. Here we have Dark Forces.
Did that just get re-released or something?
Yeah.
I feel like
Night
most
Dive.
of them-
Night Dive did the remaster.
I heard that's one of
Phantom.
the. So that didn't get physically released though. That's just like a PC remaster or something, right? Or did it get released physically? I can't
I'm
remember.
sure we'll get a limited run physical. of it.
Yeah. I'm sure we will. And they'll split like the first 6 levels into one game, and then they'll split the second half of it into another game. Yeah,
Awesome.
And we have
you know,
another
like
Star
you know how
Wars
they did that
trilogy.
with like all those Star Wars games. They released them all individually, and then they released a bunch of cheap ass double packs through Best Buy. God, dude, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Your own customers, man.
Now this one is Star Wars Rebel Assault, and
Nice.
it's one of the original PAL titles. It doesn't have the PlayStation at the bottom. It's got the double case. I love these double cases like this when they're in really nice condition. Here we have Steel Rain. This one's like a tank fighting game.
You guys use the flight stick for it too for PlayStation. That's what it's, yeah. You see the analog is what they call it.
Graphics don't look like they hold up today, but I'm sure it's a lot of fun. I haven't played this one.
I need to get one of those PS1.
Yeah,
sticks.
they're cool, man.
Yeah, I need to get one. I play enough shmups where I think it'd be worth it to have one.
Yeah, I haven't played this, so this is one I do want to try because I do love this genre, and it is called Street Skater.
That game is actually pretty cool.
Is it? Okay, sweet. Like it looks like a
I
lot
got
of
part
fun.
1 and 2.
Looking at the graphics, it looks like a Tony Hawk's rip-off game, but a lot of those Tony Hawk rip-off games were a lot of fun, and especially in the PS1 and the PS2 era. So I pick up anything that's like skateboarding, BMX, snowboarding, anything like that. We have another racing game. What a surprise! Here we have Superbike 2000. This is the EA annual Superbike series. I played the motocross ones. I never played the Superbike games. I haven't played this one. Another one that's more filler, and that is Super.
That one is actually pretty cool.
Is it?
It's
Yeah,
I love
yeah.
Reggie, no matter how weird.
One
obscure it
of the
is.
songs
I
in there
like
is
that
actually pretty
game. I
fun.
played that game 3 times.
I mean, the other
Yeah.
one's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's like one of those rhythm games. It's pretty fun.
Dude,
And final game today, guys, we have Siphon Filter, the original.
The
Yes, Gabrielle Logan, man, one of the best agents ever.
I haven't got the second one. I'm still after that, but yeah, it's cool to have the first one in the collection. That's for sure.
So you know, the
Nice.
second one's hard, man, because the enemies have headshots on you like almost all the time. So you got to be careful.
We're getting in there. The next series is really exciting. One of my favorites. So I saved it for the next episode.
Sweet.
Plenty
Cool.
of them to go with it.
Well, I can tell you guys a couple of things I got at Game On, but I don't have them with me. Or we can skip that. It doesn't matter.
No, go for it. What'd you pick up?
Yeah.
So I got a bunch of stuff to flip to go towards the manual, but then I ended up finding a bunch of stuff to keep. So I'll show you the things that I got to keep. There's it's called, the company's called ASCII Wheel, ASCII. I know. But it came out.
I'm sorry. I'm just really immature. That's not your fault.
But I had the same response too. But if you go on eBay and look up this wheel, it's brand new, factory sealed in this beautiful red box. It's from the 90s, but it's reviewed really well. and you can. I think like someone found like a box of them or something, because you can get them right now on eBay, brand new factory sealed for like $35, and they're really cool. So if you like racing games in the N64, it's I think something really worth grabbing one off of eBay. It seems like one of those things that someone's like, oh shoot, this Best Buy abandoned Best Buy store had a whole room of them. Let's sell them. That's kind of what it feels like. I got the Final Fantasy Rebirth PS5 collector's edition. Vendor there sold it to me for their cost, so I was
Wow.
super blown away by
You're
that.
the one that got that one. I saw that there.
That was
man.
me. Yeah, Cultured Gamer was the one who sold it to me, and I was blown away. That was awesome. Got Castlevania Portrait of Ruin on the DS. Complete in box. Ended up getting a stack of games from this one vendor, one of which was Metal Storm complete in box. And he sold it to me at half of his price. So I ended up getting it for really cheap. I'm not sure if I'll keep it or not, but that's in the pile. And then I ended up probably got I got a couple of cases from Collector Protector, an amazing brand. If you have games and you need they're highly collectible and you want to keep them in the best shape possible, you must go to Collector Protector with a K, KOLLECTOR. They're great. But I love them. They have a new Tears of the Kingdom Collector's Edition case that they made, and it's perfect. It's awesome. And they also made them for the Lunar games on PS1 in the big box. So I bought that, and then that one's oversized just enough that the Ark of the Lad one fits in there. So I got those from them as well. So a couple of sweet little items for the personal collection, and Kabuki Quantum Fighters complete in box. I got that as well for the collection. So
badass.
Yeah, it was a happy expo.
Yeah, it definitely was, man.
Yeah.
And if you guys want to see Mort's pickups and stuff, definitely check out his channel. He has
that video will be up hopefully
collection, guys,
in like a week or two. I'll have the Game On Expo video up, which I'm excited to share with everyone.
Yeah, it's
you guys are making. I gotta get my video up too now. It's like, dude, I don't want to wait like another year to get it up. Like, oh man, like here's the 2024 video.
I just stalked Reggie the whole time and filmed him. That's the whole video. Is him just watching the floor, meeting fans. So.
He's gonna upload the Jaws music. Dun, 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 the whole time.
No, it was a great event. So.
It was.
I got to wind it down. I don't know. I just had something come up here at home. I don't know how much more time we had planned, but
we're pretty much at the end.
To wind that one down. But thanks so much for coming on, Mort. It was a blast.
You guys, this was awesome. Thank you for having me. What an honor to be able to talk with you all. Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun, man. Thanks for coming on.
Yeah.
I'm hoping that you complete that N64 collection sometime in the future. It'll be really exciting.
Please subscribe, and not only subscribe but watch the videos. I hope that you enjoy it. The Finish the Hunt series is the one that to watch, and putting a lot of elbow grease into those episodes to make them as good as I can. So would love your feedback.
Got all of Mort's socials in the description, guys. So be sure to go and drop a sub to his channel. He's doing some awesome work.
Yeah.
He's also got a really good series where he goes back and plays like old games and rates them with people. I like that too. That was cool. I saw the one you did with the guy from Thrice, and I like Thrice. So I was like, "Oh, this is cool."
Yeah,
really cool,
you had the vocalist from Thrice on other bands that are lined up to come in and do it as well, which I'm really excited about. I can't say publicly yet who it is, but you'll be, I think, pretty surprised at who's coming onto the channel.
Guar? Come on, is it Guar?
Can't say anything, but. Odorous Arungus, something. Or rest in peace. But
if you get him on, I'll be really impressed. Sorry.
It's something we filmed 10 years ago, guys.
Yeah, right on.
Well, thanks for watching, everyone. We'll see everyone in the next episode. Have a good night.
Night, everybody.
You found the